Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is David Palmer, Leo King, and we got Tamara Jean here from High Vibe TV for Deep Love Tarot for the week of June 28th through July the 4th of 2021. Thanks so much for being here, and thanks for being a part of HighVibe.tv. Super excited to have Tamara Jean here on Deep Love Tarot. We're popping your Deep Love Tarot, right? Or I think we did one one like a year and a half ago.
No, we've never done Deep Love Tarot together.
Well, here we are, Deep Love Tarot.
And a good week to do that.
It is a good week to do that. It's pretty crazy up there. If you've never watched this show before, of course, we're going to give you what's going on in the collective. Then we're going to pick out of the High Vibe Gold Chalice what is going on through all your individual zodiac signs, but they are picked at random. So it even makes the show even more random and more in letting the divine come to you. And we have a great time on the show, and it's a blessing to have you here. Super stoked.
I feel really blessed to be here. Thank you for having me and having me on this show. It's super exciting. Like, you're always so amazing with this show. And so I'm just like, ooh, it's really an honor. It really is.
Well, it's an honor to have you been with the network for so long, and you do so much tarot on the network.
Yeah, I love getting just all of the divine tools that are available that will help us, especially now, really create forward momentum and show people all the different possibilities and all the different tools that are available. You know, not just tarot, but oracle and, of course,
channeling,
all of it. How it's all divine.
Yeah, and I think that, love is something that I think a lot of people, especially through the last 2 years and the weirdness of reality and stuff, it comes up a lot for so many people right now. And guidance through love is something that I feel that this work has got a lot, of course, attention to, but also it does have a deep meaning, especially because love is everything in life. And, love for relationships definitely can be a challenging space for some people, but giving the best that you can to have everybody look at it from different angles and see what's going to happen is everything I feel in life. And that's why I felt when I created this show was like, let's do it a little different.
Yeah. Well, and even though, like I said, even though some people have challenges in the heart space, you can still connect at some level. And that's where we can all connect, is through the heart. And that's exactly where we're supposed to be going.
It's true.
And so, you being a leader on that leading edge, cutting edge, in reconnecting into that, and the divine feminine too.
It's very true. And the divine masculine, which, there's a lot of talk of like, which one is the energy and so forth that's going, but it's both always.
Yeah.
And I feel like, actually on this show, it's great to have a divine feminine on this show, as this show's always been very kind of divine masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people have been asking for more divine feminine on the show. So actually it has naturally come into its organic form at this moment. And that's also where I'm looking for the future for this show, is to create more of a divine feminine space for the show with the divine masculine. It just goes so much more in alignment with love anyway, as it is, right?
Yeah.
No matter who you love or what kind of person you love and so forth. So
all about harmony.
It
and
is.
Balance.
It is. Mm-hmm. So this is where we're going to go into the collective, but real quick, I always just run through a quick part of the astrology to show you what's going on. And then, of course, we'll go into the cards together, and then we'll pick for each 12 signs. And of course, we are in the chat, and make sure that you go to HighVibe.tv and subscribe, because of course you can watch Tamara Jean on there and all of her amazing shows. I have all my sun sign horoscopes on there, weekly sun signs, daily horoscopes, so many different horoscopes between all of us on High Vibe. It's pretty insane. It's like close to 70 plus videos a week. So we have so many amazing talent on there, so many amazing shows that help you out. We really are a full blown network. Check us out, highvibe.tv, be a subscriber, and you can download any of our apps, which you can get on Apple TV, Roku, your iOS, or Android. So appreciate that as well. And of course, all those links are down below, and you see all the apps too. So collective-wise this week, the big thing, and I'm just going to cover this real quick, is just we're going to have a big, big storm in the skies. Mars, the planet of war. Also, engaging though in energy. In Leo, especially, it's all fired up in Leo. It's in a fire sign, and it's going to make a square to Uranus, and it's going to oppose Saturn in Aquarius with Uranus and Taurus. So we call this a T square, and this T square is to Uranus, which is very unpredictable. It deals with people already, and it's in Taurus, our values and what we want. So when it comes to love, this can be very, very testy, especially with making sure there's no arguments or fights that get out of control, unpredictable energy and how that you're able to handle it. Saturn there trying to be like, whoa, 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 I want things to stay stable. Mars being like, no, this needs to be addressed and really up front. And Uranus like having fun watching everything kind of tailspin. So it's important for us to find stability, still stay forward in engaging things while at the same time allowing things to allow them to go into different places and adjust to crazy places and not be afraid of it. And I feel like because it's in fixed energy, our stubbornness and our values and our wants are very intense. But at the same token, we can still maintain those while making sure that we don't take that stubborn energy too far. We are in Cancer, emotions are high, but also at the same time, that doesn't mean that's a negative thing. I think it's a positive thing. If you take a look at the last couple of years, we've all been going through a lot of different emotion, but there's also been a lot of restrictions on our life. There's been a lot of freedoms that have been taken away from us. And so, when it comes to love, it's almost like that's been the one place in relationships where are we going to create the restrictions there? I think that the last place that we want to do that is in our relationships and so forth, because that's one place where we choose those laws of the land, I guess you could say, of restrictions or lockdowns on love ourselves. And this is a time with Venus being in Leo and Mars in Leo. It's so important to realize that intimacy and connection to the heart is so important, and having values that are always going to be different within people and finding a way to make them work. And sometimes they can't work. And with Saturn in Aquarius, the opposition, we're all unique and we're all different, not just in values, just in so many different areas. And so, but that's also what we can love about somebody so much, is all these really crazy different parts of them that are different than you, that help you either see parts of yourself that you're never able to see before, or maybe it's too much. And so these are going to be a lot of these issues being addressed. Mars and Venus in Leo 2 years ago did not contact. They met in Virgo. This year, they're contacting in the next couple of weeks in Leo. So this is going to be quite the drama show, and it can be very fun drama, and it can also be very dramatic in any way. There's a lot of unpredictability with this, as Uranus is squaring Saturn. Realities can be shattered reality. But at the same time, Mercury is still shadow in Gemini. So I think it's very important to realize we are all still understanding all the data, and we are getting close to out of that shadow. So it almost feels like we're at the tip of the iceberg, and then this all hits, and it's almost like, I'm at the end of my data, but I know there's a little more. But man, Mars coming into this can throw a lot of intensity into things, and a lot about passion, and a lot about heart space. And are we able to express ourselves? Because really, Leo and Aquarius is about expression, but with Saturn and Aquarius there, it could be also, where do we need to maybe detach for maybe just a moment in life so we don't go into a big argument, or where can we detach maybe to maybe formulate an understanding of our own needs and make sure in relationships that we get those. Also at the same time, making sure that we're not closing ourselves off completely to love and trying to do it all alone, because this can be a time where you can really miss out on some beautiful places and beautiful relationships you do have and so forth if you're trying to burn them out and trying to do something all alone. So I think the cards are going to tell us a lot.
I think so. Yeah.
So start off with the collective. What we're going to do is, and I don't know if you want to use any of my decks if you want, or if you want to use yours, but we're going to do things a little different today. I'm going to throw down what's happening, what's the challenge, and what's kind of the overall future here, the spiritual advice. And then Tamara's got her oracle cards here to throw in on this. And
yeah, some celestial guidance. And then what is your soul trying to tell you about this?
Ooh.
Because this is a huge transformative week. This energy, like as you were talking, they were showing me this like meteor fireball, like coming through the sky. And then like the space shuttle, and how that's coming in hot. But you're riding that wave. You're like, okay, I know I've got to come in. I've got to move forward. And it's like once you get into your zone, get into your space, then you're like, okay, this is good. And this is like transforming yourself, transforming the relationships. And it's really about, I feel like, feeling the fullness of,
Yeah.
because they're really focusing on like the center of this fireball and how there's the flames burning around it, but it is like the core. So focusing on your core and what is true for you, and you got to ride that energy as we move through these transits.
See, bring the divine feminine on here is a big thing. And if you want to get a reading from Tamara Jean, you can go on highvibe.tv and click on readings, and she does amazing readings. And she's been doing tons of them on High Vibe, but I haven't really actually promoted her yet for those readings here on my YouTube channel. So definitely, and if you're already on High Vibe, I'm sure that you know, but definitely if you want to get a reading, she's got the magic touch for sure. So
Thank you.
let's see what's going to happen this week collectively. I'm very interested. First card that I got here is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. I got as a challenge card here the Ace of Swords. Woo! Upright. And our spiritual advice card that we got here is the Emperor.
Oh.
I'm almost feeling like let go of trying to. Number one, every time the Wheel of Fortune reversed, it's like, stop trying to control things. Fortune works when you take your hand off the wheel. If you're trying to like be on Wheel of Fortune, the show, and you're like, I know I don't want to hit bankruptcy, you're probably going to hit bankruptcy. It's like one of those things where it's like, let go and let the wheels turn, because whenever relationships, Wheel of Fortune is reversed, it's like you're trying to control the fortune, how you want fortune to look. The godly energy always is what brings us the beautiful fortune. When we let go and let the wheels turn, it also is afraid of seeing where things are going to turn in a relationship or turn in your life. And I think that it's about not being afraid of that. That challenges that Ace of Swords. Wanting to have just like ultimate clarity and everything understood and everything done. Well, that's not going to happen, especially if we're trying to control things too much and not letting real fortune come, because that Emperor is there just like show up with strength. Strength is not controlling, and strength doesn't necessarily mean that you have to understand everything going on.
That is very true. Sorry, I was fixing the mic.
Oh, it's all good.
No,
it could be a lot.
Well, and yeah, trying not to control everything that is going on. This is about going with the flow. I want to see what the celestial
I would
has
love to. I'm so excited.
enhance with that. We have 4 of water.
Ooh.
So, really, opening to your eyes to the possibilities. Try not to control every little thing. You really need to open up. And especially, too, of maybe how you thought it was going to go. And this is about really not missing the potential that is right in front of you. And so to keep moving forward and opening your eyes to what is all around you. You want to focus in on your emotions, but you got to pull yourself out. Do not be drowning in what could have been or in the past. You need to open your eyes, feel that fire, and allow it to transform what you are seeing in your life, and allow it to brighten, bring the clarity.
Look at that card too, because it's a beautiful card. What does it say at the bottom? It says missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. And especially that 4 of Cups to me always reminds me of just like, it's always the card that always feels like, thanks God for the gift, but I don't want it. Whatever. Because it's always a hand bringing a cup and the person's like,
Yeah.
And that card, the description, the way that this one puts it, it's like missing an opportunity.
Yeah.
Missing an opportunity is definitely trying to control things way too much.
Yep.
And pushing away from God,
That's
What
a
else you
no-no.
got for us? Because I'll throw one oracle after you, which will be the Astro one. A lot of people like that one, but we'll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's see what the soul's trying to tell you in this situation. Your guidance is divinely guided.
Wow.
it's time to really
It's a beautiful
pay
card.
attention. I love this deck. Such beautiful images. Really pay attention. I look at this as like going to spirit, listening to spirit. You need to get in tune with your intuition and like stop being a control freak. And it is kind of that let go, let God week.
I mean, it looks like she's walking into heaven where I think that would be the last place you would try and like be like in control of how you walk or anything. You would just be like, I'm walking into the most ecstasy of God ever. And it's beautiful. I've never seen this deck. I'm like, I would put this as a painting in my house.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Really beautiful.
But she's the woman is walking into the doorways into the divine of the highest order.
Yeah. And trust that.
There's a lot about just like going in and just like not, gosh, I feel like it's about so much about letting control and so much about like we can miss opportunities by trying to have it look a certain way, be a certain way. I don't know. What do you feel that emperor showed up as our spiritual advice with like the strength energy of like determination and so forth? What are you feeling with that?
Well, and I feel like this is taking the throne of your I am presence, right? And you're working so closely with the divine, I feel, as being the emperor, right? And as you said earlier in the sun signs, like emperor makes himself, right?
It's
Where
true.
kings and queens, that's the bloodlines. Emperor to me feels so in alignment, like being divinely guided, like you are following your path that's in alignment for you. What it's like destiny,
Right.
and it's owning it and
It
being
is.
it.
And an emperor doesn't worry too much about understanding everything and trying to control things
Right.
because it already has manifested the position. So once you've manifested a position in life, it almost feels like you stop worrying so much about trying to control because you know if you're a true manifester that you don't trip out about it because you know you've gotten there before. It's almost like we all manifest how to get food in our lives. There's sometimes maybe one moment in our life or two moments where it's like, I don't know if I've been able to eat or something like that, but we usually don't trip out about a lot of things that we're manifesting every day.
Right.
And almost feel like we can't be in a tripped out place about things because we're going to miss a lot of opportunities. And that opportunity could just be in itself spiritually, whether it is through the love, but just really allowing spirit to take things over into such a beautiful place that I think we don't have the lens to see that. Only the divine does. And if we're going to miss that opportunity, you know, if you really think your own eyes see better, like, you know, in life, it's kind of
Right.
like, it's not true. We don't even see the divine fully. The divine is looking at us fully. And I'd put those lenses of the divine on any day of the week over my own, you know?
Absolutely. And I feel too that it is also noticing the magic in the little things. Like miracles are ordinary.
It's true.
And to see the divine in everything, not just so focused over here on what more I would say is like the lack,
Right.
right? Look into it is like being grateful for what you already have.
It's true.
And in doing so, you create more of that. Your soul will then create more circumstances, more experiences and situations to experience more and more abundance.
What does the Astros say? Black Moon Lilith mystery. Well, you know, I mean, I think that, you know, with Black Moon Lilith, she definitely knows what she wants and she goes for it. But there's like that mysterious element to Black Moon Lilith, of course, because we kind of don't know her intention behind it. There's always a little hidden element to things. And, you know, she kind of does. It's so opposite of this card. She kind of goes her own way and says, screw you, God. I mean, you do that her story all the time on our network, and you guys have talked about Lilith a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest. I'm not I of course use Lilith, but as an astrologer, as a male astrologer, you know, it's like I can't say that I just like formulate and connect with Lilith deeply.
Well, what I would say, like with this coming in with these other cards, is that mystery and connecting into the divine feminine and moving out of fear and like needing to control and hold on for dear life because it's what you know, why don't you loosen the grip a little bit? And instead of being in fear and unknown, you just have a little, shift in the wordplay there of switching it to the mystery. It's more enchanting. It's more magical, and being, then you're more kind of open to flow. You're okay. Ooh, mystery. That sounds fun. That could be fun.
Well, the last card
can be fun.
The last card's going to be, because I always forgot, Ganesha comes in every deck, or every Deep Love Tarot for the last, I don't know how long. So I always feel that Ganesha does. This deck honestly brings us such a positive outcome in every situation.
I love Ganesha.
Oh, yeah. And this
Never
deck,
seen these cards.
oh, these cards are amazing. Oh, wow. Determination. It's so, gosh, this is such a mixed blend of reading of like, I feel like it's the determination that we trust within spirit, but I also feel like we got to be more determined in allowing spirit to run its course, like giving the determination of spirit opposed to trying to determine everything on our own. Really, determination itself, we always say like God is determining this issue opposed to us determining it.
Well, and look at the colors on that card are exactly the colors I was seeing in that fireball.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so this is like having that determination and that drive, and also though allowing the divine guidance to help you ride that energy, ride that wave to where you are going.
I love
like
it.
Really balanced.
It is. And that's funny because that fireball, when you described it to me, that meteor fireball,
Yeah.
I mean, it really was very intense. And also when I was channeling that Mars energy with this Uranus and Saturn, it felt like Mars is just not going to just like care that it's running into a bunch of roadblocks and it's like, I'm here for happiness and however I'm going to get it. It's like, whoa, the determination can be used efficiently and divinely, because it did come underneath our challenge of Ace of Swords, which is an open window in this case here of clarity. And this beautiful, both are open doors. And the determination is to allow those open doors of a flexible spiritual nature, and also that clarity, instead of, if you look at this side, that Wheel of Fortune reversed with the Four of Cups and the Four of Water in your case, right? It's like, it kind of is like we can miss out on so many gifts and fortune. And there is a mystery in how we step into our own I am self, but it's not this kind of forceful energy. It's more of a, it's the mystery of just like, I think of contentment with the divine.
Yeah. 100%.
Well,
Perfect.
why don't you pick out of the High Vibe Gold Cup and pick this first zodiac sign.
We have, Pisces.
Pisces, fishies. Where's all the fishies at? I just did an intense fish horoscope with Paula Deity.
It was intense.
It was. I would say that the Pisces one was pretty intense. Capricorn was kind of intense. They all had their own little intensity, but there were some signs that got a lot easier. It was not, those were good horoscopes. Having Paula Deity here too.
Yeah.
And him and I, have never met in person. You hadn't met him in person yet.
No,
and
I
all
didn't
three
realize
of
how
us
tall he
have
was.
been doing Future Life since the beginning of 2017.
Yeah.
When we were talking about 2017, I think it was right at 2018 we launched.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the first things he said when we met in person in the parking lot.
Right.
Actually, when coming in the studio, he's like, oh my gosh, from Future Life to
High
High
Vibe.
Vibe. And
I
here
know.
we are finally meeting.
All
in
three of
person.
us are the last three that
We're the OGs.
were the OGs. And you know what? There were so many amazing people through the whole journey, and they're all still great people and friends. But
Yeah.
there's been a lot of people. We're talking over
It's been a lot of
a
people.
baker's dozen.
Yeah.
So
And it's been a journey, but
it's been a journey.
a beautiful one.
It has been. And it's us three that are the Trinity at this moment. Very interesting. So Pisces, let's see what's in store. These cards are a little crazy, so I'm just preparing you.
Me.
We got the Hermit reversed here, the Crash Test Dummy and the Subway reversed. We got the Four of Wands reversed as your challenge here. And your spiritual advice card is the Death card with fuck it.
Oh,
Drink
wow.
the toxic water and die and let it end. Pisces, that Hermit reversed is saying especially with love, like I feel like you don't need to keep stewing on something here, because this challenge of the Four of Wands reverse could be hard. Four of Wands always represents kind of a celebration, whether it's a baby or a marriage or anything that really is this just like great energy of like what to celebrate about. I feel like maybe for you, it's like there's an issue in some sort of relationship, whether it's a person or whether it's just a situation in your relationship, that maybe it's like, let's drop this whole thing that's not really that much to celebrate about. I think this Hermit reversed has tried as hard as it can to keep trying to find an answer, but it's saying remove it yourself from trying to find the answer and let the process just go through its transformational death process and see what's going to happen. I think tomorrow's cards are going to add a lot of insight to this, because this is a pretty weird one already.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you get here?
Ego.
We got the ego.
Yeah. False sense of entrapment. You know, and in Pisces, I feel like can kind of really get kind of in that too ungrounded and kind of out, and I don't know what to do. And this is kind of fear-based and negative-based thoughts.
Ooh, it's Archangel
Is it Jophiel?
Jophiel, yeah.
Yeah.
What does he represent?
She.
Oh my God. Oh man. Oh, I was like, Archangel Joe, Uncle Joe, like.
She helps with your thoughts. So if you're feeling that kind of insecurity and not knowing, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do.
He's
I feel
wearing
super
a mask.
Yeah. Hiding behind. Yep.
Oh, that's her in the background, huh?
Yeah. That is her. So you call
She's
on
hot.
her to to help you in shifting your thought patterns, you know, because in really
She
not
is. Look at how she's like encompassing. Oh, it's July 4th this week, so they're fireworks. They come around all the warehouses and go, oh yeah, nobody's around. Like, throw the fireworks off. Ego. Look at how she's encompassing that energy of supporting him get through his masked energy of like, it's almost like he's like gone in the wrong direction and like been like, no, it's like, I'm the brownie, like, you know, toilet, or, you know, like, the paper towel guy, like I can get wherever I want to go. And then it's kind of like, yo, like you're in the wrong place.
Well, and blocking yourself. You're blocking yourself from experiencing the positive, letting all this negativity kind of get in your face, letting your ego kind of more set in that survival and I want to say old past wounds kind of coming forward too with Pisces. And, you know, this card 15, that's a 6. That's about the material emotional needs being met. And so if they aren't being met, like, what are you not looking at? What are you blocking yourself from?
This is where I'm going to just, why did that card come up? Oh, 7 of Pentacles reversed. This definitely is an investment you keep putting into and you're not getting a return in. So your ego, where you're like, I'm going to just keep putting in this energy. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep giving this person everything. Like, I'm going to keep pushing and pushing it. But like, it's like digging a hole and it's not even turning into a hole. Like, it's just like it keeps caving in, or, you know, it's like investing in a stock and getting no return. And it's like, how far are you going to keep going with that? This definitely ego card is definitely saying there's definitely Pisces something within you, or you could be dealing with somebody who's so egoish and you don't know what to do at this point, because Pisces can become sensitive and get trapped in some situations with people who have really high egos too. And you could be like lost, and it's like, look at, is the investment worth it, about how much you keep trying to put in, and are you getting anything back in return? Either way, you know.
And the number 7 is being on the right path and being reversed. You know, that's
definitely, if it's and I'm just channeling this, but if it's about money, like, that's not the way to be looking at this relationship at all.
right. Let's see what the soul.
Yeah, I would love to see. That's the most beautiful deck I've ever seen, by the way.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy that deck. What's this deck called?
Work Your Light Oracle.
Your Light.
Because that is what we're doing right now. That's for sure.
So we got Anna, grandmother of Jesus.
Yep. Seeding the light, laying the foundation, right? The divine plan. So are you following what is divine? You know, your soul's trying to open that up to you. And with that death card, like, maybe you should take a look at it. Maybe there are things beyond what you're looking at or what you're blocking yourself from seeing, and moving forward to what is in divine alignment for you. That 7 of earth being reversed, you know, is this relationship being nurturing to you? Is it supporting you? I am also feeling like a worthiness issue here as well. And so to take a look at, really, this feels like a very contemplative week for Pisces.
Yeah, I'm feeling that because it's a grandmother Jesus, it also says on here, laying foundations of divine plans. It's like, and if you look at this, you see the Sphinx up there. This card, who drew this? This is just some fascinating stuff with the fountain in the middle, like, or the waterfall. It's beautiful. But it's like, is the foundation really built upon that divine, loving, spiritual nature and grace and care? Because I feel she's so mothering here in a grandmother way, but she's not like a typical grandma that you would think. She's like a very powerful, very divinely connected, and laying the foundations for Jesus's birth in many ways. If you think about it, if you were to think of Jesus's grandmother, she would have had to have been pretty solid for Jesus to show up. Like,
Right.
I don't think that Jesus's grandma was out, you know, hooking and shit.
Probably not.
So, yeah, like, I feel like it's like, because that death card's there with that fuck it kind of alcohol aspect of things, like, and then you have such a counterbalance to this giving of life and light and love and support. That's a good way to gauge things, but you want to end things if there's not that light energy there, and it's become an ego thing. And really, that 4 of Wands, that it's like, this isn't something to celebrate about, then there's something to pay attention to there, and look at the ego and look at that naturing. And I love how you brought up the self-worth too, because your worth of being in a divine foundational place for love is everything. And if the foundation wasn't there to start with, that would be some place to look at too.
Yeah.
Interessante.
Yeah.
The Astro is saying the 11th house, which is friends. Wow. You know, but it also is just like the world too that we live in. And if it's all clicking and connecting, and it's also a disruptive energy, the 11th house, it is the Aquarian home. I almost feel like, you know, is this more of a friendship, or, you know, or is this because you're doing it because of the circle of friends around, or maybe the friends around are bad? You know, sometimes we can be with partners and have to have a talk like, you know, I like your friends and everything, but, you know, you going over to homeboy's house all the time is not turning out too well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I'm also getting too, kind of on the flip side, like, accept help from your friends. Allow your friends to help you.
What they're saying, they might be giving insight, and maybe your ego's pushing it away.
Right.
But they're like, your friends are the best scope of things, especially in love, if they hang around you. Or maybe you pushed your friends away so much for the relationship, and maybe you need to bring them back in to kind of understand things better.
Right.
And also maybe it might balance the relationship out. Maybe you put too much into this relationship, but too much of the ego part of it is just what you want and everything. And the change could be, remember to integrate, like, going out and having social time, because sometimes relationships can be just only about the relationship. They have no social energy. They don't come together. Like, you came here with your husband, like, you know, it's like positive. It's always good to, like, as a couple, go out and be and doing things. It's like when couples just by themselves, or relationship, and they don't talk to anybody, and it becomes like,
it's, well, and this is
toxic,
card, what, 35?
which is an 8.
Which is an 8, which is about abundance. So you're
Totally.
either like too much one direction or too much the other way, right? There needs to
Totally.
be some balance.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Ganesha is saying relaxation, which I'm feeling it's almost like it should feel this way. Like, I love the way that Ganesha card looks too. Like, love and relationships should be a place of solace, a place of relaxation, of beauty. And what number is that one?
It's a 49,
Wow.
13, so that's a 4.
Which is stability in a very positive, like, relaxation way. And I think that if you're stressing right now, Pisces, because it feels like it's a lot, the place to go is the place where you can feel, where you have, like, that energy off of you and feel relaxed.
Yeah. Well, and I feel too that the 4, I always relate it to your kind of internal infrastructure. So you can kind of like relax, kind of calm the mind a little bit and kind of get really centered so that you can kind of see, so you bring some clarity, and this helps too when you're more calm and relaxed, and you're releasing, the ego's not so like "Rah," and trying to control things, and kind of distorting things. You can kind of, it opens things up.
I feel that Anna, the godmother, or the what is it, grandmother of
Grandmother, yeah.
Jesus, and that relaxation Ganesha are really here, helping out and remembering how to bring things. And there's
Yeah.
a contrast of dark and light,
Yeah.
but there's a solace in both of them, right? Like it should be at night and day. It should be in the shadow work we're doing or in the light work we're doing. There should be some sort of like positive element to things and an ease and a grace. I feel like if things are not very easy and graceful, it is the crash test dummy backwards in a freaking subway down in New York City. I mean, I kind of feel like this is helping you avoid a really big crash test dummy situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Reach out to your friends.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to do the Astro Dice. I feel so bad I didn't do them for the collective. At least the signs are getting. We got the 6th house here. We got Gemini. Mars and Gemini in the 6th house. I mean, this is definitely about efficiently looking at how life can really work a lot more efficiently, but using common sense, and also communication about very specific things that need to be worked out in the reality are so important. And you got to have the courage to speak. And you have to have the courage to speak about things that might be stressful, but it's stressful if you're not going to communicate. It's stressful if you're not going to get the clarity that you need.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to pick the next sign.
I will pick the next sign.
Here, I want to make sure that
Golden. Oh, yeah. We have Aquarius.
All right. We're just going to run through these now. First card we got, Aquarius, is the Judgment card reversed. Our challenge that we got is the King of Wands reversed. And you did get the Star card reversed. So we got 3 reversals there. Things are a little upside down right now, but that Judgment reversed card, there's got to be some balance in things right now. Don't be one, especially because this can be singles or relationships. If anybody's judging you right now, pay attention to that. But again, you could also be throwing an unfair position on things if you're not being transparent and real. That King of Wands is reversed. It feels like that love energy and that feeling of that the love is very strong is really not there. And that Star card reversed is very lost, because Star card is always a beautiful, refreshing moment and divinely guided, but it also comes after the Tower, right? So there's a lot of avoidance going on about where things are going. We got 2 major arcana about like what to do next and what am I doing and where to go, and I'm not feeling the love that I want, and I feel like there's a lot of lost energy here, and we could self-judge ourselves about that, where I think you need to remove that, Aquarius. Like, it's okay that you don't know where things are going. That needs to be dealt with first, because if you're just going to be on the axe judging yourself constantly. I love this card because it's Barbie in jail. I love that card. Like, I almost feel like, it's like she's smiling, but see, this is reversed. It's almost like, you're throwing yourself kind of in your own self-judgment, or somebody's judging you and you don't know how to deal with it. But you got to always look at yourself too with all that, right? Like, I don't know. I think your cards are going to help get us more clear with this, because this is looking pretty weird. 6 of Earth.
6 of Earth.
I call that the crotchety card
The
for love.
I have another Angel Tarot too that wants to come out.
Yeah.
Page of Fire.
Well, that's good. That especially, yeah. What are you feeling with all this?
This is very interesting. Like, I feel there's a need to really, like you said, like that self-judgment piece, and kind of pull yourself out of that and looking at, I'm feeling taking a life inventory. And as you take that life inventory and start to see the gift that you are, number one, that you bring to this earth, to this life, to the collective, to yourself. And then this, as you open yourself up to that and start really opening to the positive, that is going to, because you do have gifts and originality. There's no one like you, Aquarius.
There is not.
No one like you. Everyone is unique. And I feel like with these cards, you know, there is some sort of there's a lot of wounds that are coming up for everyone right now. And so and Chiron, I am so connected with Chiron right now.
My whole life is Chiron, so I love Chiron just because I'll accept that medicine.
Yes, medicine. That's a good way to put it. Definitely. And so it is receive the medicine with that going on and really taking a look at things and really look at your own gifts and uniqueness and nurture them. Allow them to shine. And as you do, this is going to bring your soul will bring, also see what the soul says, attract those opportunities, those circumstances for you to have that experience so that you do feel valued.
I was going to say, Six of Pentacles, Page of Fire. What did you get with this? Ooh, all these cards are so gorgeous. Jeez. Protection. Woo!
Well, this is calling your energy back.
Wow. What did eclipse?
Yeah. Calling
And
back
there
your
is
power.
Are those 7 angels?
They're
There's 7 angels, but they're
like priestesses.
But they're like high priestesses, but they're also like blocking out, like, no.
Yeah. Well, it's protecting yourself from what is not real, from false truths, false identities. Calling back your power, right? And cutting, this is like soul retrieval too. And know that you're protected. Cutting those cords on what is not honoring and seeing your value, your gifts, your beauty, and your originality.
Yeah, and because that you pulled that 6 of Pentacles, you pulled the Page of Fire there. It's like the 6 of Pentacles is about being able to give your greatness to others. And I feel like with that Page of Fire, it's like that greatness is with that Page of Wands, it's like being positive, and that Judgment reversed with the 6 of Pentacles, they both are scaled.
Yep.
And there's a lot about rebalancing things. I feel like things have gotten way out of balance. We've got 3 reversals, and then we've got to bring some positive energy into it. It's okay that it might not be the end all be all, the highest of the high of positive, like where you want to reach. Get back to the simple things. But that protection card, I think, is like what it's spiritually protecting is, like, are you really listening to your intuition, or are you listening to your own judgments, or are you also holding things back? You, as Tamara said, that you do have this weird feeling of being so unique that maybe you don't feel like anybody understands you, and maybe you're putting up too much protection energy, because that star card reversed is about being naked with the stars and letting the divine go. Although in my deck here, this isn't my deck, but the one I'm using here, which is the Badass Tarot, it's like, it's definitely like, woo, we're definitely connected, spirit and people. And, there's a naked energy in every card. It's always a naked woman looking up at the stars. I feel like that protection is, maybe are you being too protective about something that you need to just like bring up and speak about and bring some light to issues? Maybe, maybe you've been too self-critical, or maybe somebody's been too self-critical on you. And protection is by speaking your fire, what you need in your life. And that's where you're going to find, that abundance. But that 6 of Pentacles also deals with charity. Don't be a charity case, or don't take on charity cases themselves, right? Like, because, somebody might be just taking from you constantly, and it's unfair, and you haven't put a judgment on it. The judgment, actual real card, is about that you give yourself to the divine. That's the highest judgment always, right? Because it's the coffins and the gray bodies that always rise up to the trumpet calling of the angels. But when it's reversed, it's almost like, did you forget that there's a higher order and a higher plan here? And with the star card reverse, I feel like allow the higher order to come into your life, which goes with that collective reading we did. And rebalance things out. And Page of Wands is always just like, it's how a king would try to find or a prince would try to find a princess, or a princess try to find a prince, kind of like putting out the message of like, this is what I need in my life. It's very simple. I mean, it was like, the Sultan and having Jasmine, like, she must be wed, okay, that's very Page of Wands, right? And then like how, okay, like Aladdin becomes a prince and Prince Ali, like, you got to put it out there. But I feel like this protection card has actually been working against you right now. I'm feeling that because of the star card reverse. And I'm feeling like it's almost like you've been kind of blocking things out when there's that eclipse there to allow things to change. And almost like, I don't want to use that. I don't want to see that. Because this card can also mean like to protect you in a moment of change.
Yeah.
Because that's usually what I would say would mean. But I'm almost feeling like some change is happening and you've been overprotecting possibly something. Because that judgment reversed is not putting everything to the higher divine mission. You can be in a relationship possibly where that divine mission needs to be found. And that's going to be your ultimate protection too, opposed to continuing to run it like the way it's running. I mean, the Astro we got is the first house, which is the rising sign, of course. And it's a 7.
The body.
In the body. But again, that first house is very defining what you need and what you want. And I feel like that needs to be clear. I almost feel like that's your protection is at least people know what they're dealing with. But if you're not speaking up or saying what you want.
There's kind of a forgotten who you are and releasing your power, giving your power away to others, a little bit of victimization going on. And so like you need to reclaim that, reclaim the power balance.
Yeah, and Ganesha is saying fulfillment is needed. So definitely, especially with 3 reversals there. Oh my gosh. But I love that picture of Ganesha and finding the fulfillment. And it's simple things. Fulfillment doesn't need to be grandiose. I feel like the King of Wands reverses the challenge is like, it does not need to be grandiose to fill you up. Fulfillment in a love relationship can be just the way that somebody smiles when they're happy, when you see them walking and they see a bird, I mean, like fulfillment is in so many areas, but like, I feel like maybe it's false fulfillment that needs to turn into true fulfillment too.
Yeah.
So interesting read there.
Very interesting, Aquarius. All right. Let's see who we have next. Let's see. Oh, Leo.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Leo. Let's see what's going on here. I pulled for Leo's the Vampir's deck, my favorite deck. We got the 6 of Swords in reversed. We got the challenge here is the World card reversed. And the overall here is the 4 of Pentacles in reversed. Well, Leo, I mean, 6 of Swords, definitely always about taking the journey to the better place, but I don't think you know where that is. World reversed, this could be you unsure about what's there. Maybe somebody coming back, something's not completed. Maybe you feel like somebody's not completed, or maybe you feel like in the relationship, there's things that still aren't able to move forward that you still want to hash out. And then, of course, having that 4 of Pentacles reversed, it's almost like, where is it? There's a lot of where is things. Where's this relationship going? Where is a relationship if you're single? 4 of Pentacles at least has it. When there's 4 of Pentacles reversed, it's almost like, I don't have anything. We need the divine feminine to help out here.
Yeah. Well, doing something that's more challenging.
Yeah, Page of Pentacles.
You know, perhaps this is a sign of needing that challenge. You know, Leo likes to have that challenge.
Well, look at that. I love how it says solidarity, being patient. Being patient. Maybe that's part of it too, especially with that Six of Swords. You know, it's Six of Swords is always like taking the river to the better side of the island. Like it almost is like, yeah, get me out of here. But I almost feel like it's like waiting for the ferry and it's like not there and being impatient and knowing being patient is to be successful. What does it say at the bottom of this card? Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, a new area of study.
Yeah. Because with Leo, you guys can get going.
It's true.
And like, and with that fireball coming in this week, you know, can kind of, I feel like this is follow the divine, like kind of be patient, allow things to unfold organically. And there can be new things coming in, new directions too.
Yeah, not just take things and take the first train out of Dodge to the better place you think it's going to go. Like it almost is like, are you sure that's the right seat on that train or that ferry? But that world reverse gets me as a challenge because it almost feels like something's not complete. Something is not complete. And usually, I put it in love readings too, the world reverse is always like something is circling back around. So it's like, you know, maybe it's a past issue circling back around. Maybe it's a person circling back around. And that Page of Pentacles has to really look at and see and be patient and see if it really is the right direction or if it's not. And then that Four of Pentacles is our spiritual advice there. It's like maybe you don't have to have anything claimed at this moment, or you don't need to have something claimed in order to feel fulfilled. Like it's just like there's a process going on.
Yeah. And you want to wait and be patient, I feel like, too, to make a clear decision that is for your highest good.
Yeah. You don't want to go on the grass is greener on the other side when it's actually not greener on the other side, because the Six of Swords is grass is greener on the other side, but it's reversed. It's almost like, don't just go, oh, this is the grass will be greener over here in the relationship or in a new relationship or something, and you don't know if that's the truth, and you go there and it's like, there's no grass. I should have Page of Pentacles that one. I should have at least like smelt the grass. I should have known that was the smell of chemical. And it's like a bunch of weird shit down there. It's a trash dump. What else you got for us?
I got Three of Water, which is a celebration.
That is. It's the party card too.
Yeah. So like, you know, Leos love to have a good time, but be patient. Allow things to organically unfold. If you
socialize.
Yes. You know, allow that your big heart to be open, I feel like, and to move, kind of be in the flow.
This is a very Leo issue all the time, especially with Venus and Leo. Like Leos, we like to flirt. Like instead of looking at what's missing and what hasn't come back around or what's not complete in your life, like Page of Pentacles is reminding yourself of the value you have and how much you're worth. Page of Pentacles is like a business offer of like, hey, this is how much I need for the job. And then Three of Cups is the ultimate like celebration between of partying, but it's flirty and it's fun. And it's like, remember that greatness of where you're at. It's okay that you don't know where things are going right now. Just step into that energy and remember you're already on the great grass is greener on the other side. And you're only going to take the ultimate best anyway to go over to the other side once that's found, but that's not found yet. So why even trip on having something if it's not even fun, worth it, or worthy?
I feel like unnecessary worry and stress. Like you just need to have more fun. Be who you are, get tapped back into your heart and allowing things to unfold. And of course, then there will be, you know, you get back into your vibe and your energy, and that is going to open things up, right? Kind of like get you, like bring you back around like, hello.
It's true. What is it? What do you got from that beautiful deck of yours?
Yeah. What does the soul say? Work your light.
Somebody was saying they love Leo's nerdy nature.
It's perfect. Trust your path.
That goes with this whole thing. But I think there's a conflict though of like you not trusting the path, and you're going to have to
Right.
trust the path.
Well, and if you look at the image on the card, so, you've been going along and it's over here, right? It's like the portal. It's almost kind of, you are an initiatory process too. And if you were completely supported, to like kind of let go of control a little bit, that if you were completely supported, what would you do?
What would you do?
What would
I
you
almost
do?
feel like too, partnership wise, like maybe it's like trusting in the support of somebody instead of like trying to be like, oh, I don't know, it needs to reach this place in order for it to be support. It's like, I feel like, it's like support comes in all ways from the divine, but also from
Yeah.
people too.
Yeah.
But also trusting your path, because it looks like how you said there's a little bit of a shift here. You're on the path, but there's like a bend in the turn.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost feels like, I don't know if this turn's good. It's like actually it's getting you right to the spot where you need
Yeah.
to go.
It's
So
leading you.
because there's that beautiful doorway that's right there, and it's like you're right there too. Like you're close. So it's almost like, stop tripping, you're so close. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't need a trap.
Right.
We got the Virgo card, which is definitely don't stress out, like as Samara was saying earlier. And I think that it's important though to, with Virgo, it's about staying within order of yourself in basic ways, and finding purity too though, right? Like you can stress, or you could just be busy in the beauty of life, and remember that life has its way of coming into itself. Mm-hmm. Of course, Venus doesn't like Virgo. So of course, because it could be very picky, although it's time to be picky.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time to be picky.
And I'm getting to that, this is card 18, which is a 9. So that is completion.
With the World card reverse.
Mm-hmm. So kind of what is no longer in alignment, not working, kind of letting things go, and kind of getting, and not stress out about it. Like, in your heart there may be relationships that are complete, and to let that go and kind of get wet. Healing. Wah, wah.
I was saying last week on Deep Love or Spiritual Dance Music, I was like, yeah, I'm just like alone. And I go home at night and I lay in my bed and I'm watching these cheesy Netflix old movies from the 90s. But, the healing is when you realize that, it's important to be picky. You just don't take anything.
It's card 36.
Which is another
Which
9.
is another 9.
So you're at the end of this healing. It might seem like you're far away from something, but you're so close to it.
Right.
Like
Trusting.
allow the process and trust the path, as
Yep.
it says, and it's all going to go tits.
You'll get to where you need to go.
Yes. And I'll do the Astro Dice while you are picking the next portion.
Ah, yes. Taurus.
Taurus. Well, we got Moon and Capricorn in the 8th. Well, I mean, this is definitely a time where there's a lot of needs and wants of the highest path and, of course, the top of the top shelf. But, there's a lot of transformation about how, you make decisions here, and that you need to have maybe let go of control, number one. And then, but at the same time, if you really have deep wants, it better be the best. So, like, you're not going to commit emotionally to things that aren't part of the plan and aren't of a higher stature. And we're doing Taurus right now.
Taurus.
All right. Everybody that's ever been on Deep Love Tarot has to do a moo for Taurus. All right. Nice moo. The first card that we got for Taurus is the Ace of Wands upright. Ding, 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 ding. Wow.
Yay.
Your challenge card is the 5 of Pentacles.
Huh.
And your overall here is the Magician card upright. This is looking really good. I just think
Yeah.
that the only issue is your own You have a lot. You have like, it's almost like a fresh, new, exciting energy. Whether it's you're in a relationship coming to a good place and out of nowhere, it's like resetting in a positive place, or you're single and there's like this fresh, new, exciting look on life. And that magician card's there to really that you understand now so much about how to manifest and create from the divine and from this reality. But that Page of Pentacles is letting your wounds and letting your insecurities and letting this, it could be health issues too. It could be just stuff that you don't need to keep holding on to. Ruin this. Like, it's poverty. It's a card of just lack of abundance feeling in every direction, And I feel that Taurus, there's way too much good right now to happen to let your insecurities and let thinking that things are going to go to shit town ruin this beautiful energy, because you're a magician if you allow yourself to be, and you got that Ace of Wands that's just showing a brand new light and lighting the way in a beautiful way. Don't be spitting on that light and being like, nah, my troll under a bridge is going to get screwed over again.
Let's not have that. Let's stretch our wings, Queen of Fire.
Wow.
Don't underestimate yourself. Really, take whatever, if it was challenging information, this new information, and alchemize it. You are the alchemist. You can transform this, transform the energy. And really, it's time. It's time to take flight. You're at that leading edge of that fireball meteor.
Yeah, and having the Queen of Wands with Ace of Wands here, don't fuck this one up, please.
Yeah.
Like, you've got so much good going for you, the excitement within yourself and the openness, and stupid issues from the past in yourself, or, Page of Pentacles is just like the person that chooses to just like be poor, the person who chooses to stay sick, the person that chooses to stay in unhappiness. So I think that's your challenge, is to deal with that. And it's really not a challenge. It's so much positives around. It's almost like, you're the one who sees it, and it's like, it can become addicting following that dark path of destruction of your own, just like lack mentality.
Yeah. Well, and also too, where you just kind of stay in a relationship because it's comfortable, right?
When it's making you feel poor, making you feel like damaged goods. Nobody wants damaged goods, so you're not damaged goods. But if you want to own, remember, I used to sell used cars as is, and you say you're damaged goods, well, we'll probably send you to the auction.
Your soul. Oh, what's your soul calling you to do? It's really time to...
It's answering the call. Mm-hmm. Maybe even literally.
Like, pick up the phone.
Like, yeah.
Like, God's calling, trying to tell you something.
I almost feel like, too, they're like, if you're single, there's an offer, and it's like everything you wanted, and you're almost like, no, it's going to go bad. It's like, shut up. Take the call. Or finally, your relationship has finally got that point to where you guys can finally find that amazing new energy, and you're like, I don't know, I kind of like that we have the strife. It's like, what?
Yeah,
answer this new calling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, is that a monkey? From far away, it looked like a monkey. What's interesting is that beautiful, like, sunrise or sunset. So it in many ways, it could be either or. It's like there's a new sunrise and there's also a sunset in the way in which things have been going. There's a whole new shift it's a whole new day, but you have to answer the call. What does it say underneath that? It says, what is your soul calling you to do? I feel like it's calling you to go towards the happiest place that you've ever been. So I unless you want to choose the same story. This has been a pattern for Tauruses to end, and this is a time for you to take the most bomb call of all time. Your Astro that you pulled is the Mars card, so it's about taking action.
Yeah.
Not only answering it, but then I already know Tauruses were like, all you do is take the call, okay, and have it in. No, you got to do something about it. You got to show up. You got to move into it. It's force. It's taking action. It's very like masculine energy too, but it's also passionate too. Like there's a lot of passion. When you get you get an Ace of Wands and a Queen of Wands, and you get the Mars card, like woo, that's not just like a little kiss. That's like a fucking makeout that blows your mind. So come on, Taurus, like you want to take that call.
And it's card 5. That's change.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's also not sitting on the fence anymore and like actually like figuring it out and moving things forward to get to the next set of the side of the numbers. And I think that this is definitely a powerful, very powerful time having this Mars card show. And Mars is in your 4th house through this one. So it's definitely about bringing love emotionally into things instead of the opposite of like pulling away love emotionally from things. Your Ganesha card that you pulled here is, wow, the joy card. I mean, you fucked this one up, Taurus. You're going to the zoo. And I know the zoo doesn't want cows already, but you know what? They're ready to take cows. So I'm going to call the zoos and be like, get every other animal out there, but all those Tauruses that don't take that fucking call, don't find that joy, don't take it. Will you take them all? Oh, you'll take them all? Okay, great. I know you guys serve. Did you hear they serve alcohol at zoos now? I'm like, who? It's Bill Maher did a special on it this weekend about how alcohol is just taking over America the same way it did right before Prohibition. The sales that it's everywhere. You can go to the grocery store and drink wine now. They have like wine bars and they have Whole Foods sells beer. Oh yeah. And it's like he said something funny. He's like, the zoo has beer. Like who's gonna go look at a polar bear and be like, I need 2 shots of whiskey for this? Like I just feel like you fucked this one up. Taurus, like, have fun at the zoo.
Yep. And it's card 47, and that's an 11.
It's alignment. It's
and being master self.
Yeah.
Like, allow yourself, be the master, be the magician.
Bring that inner child, too, with that joy card and the wands that show up.
Yeah.
Where that 5 of Pentacles that's sitting as the challenge is like, gosh, the only thing in the way is your own pain and hurt that you choose to continue to put onto yourself, and don't take other people's pains that you've been through, that you've received, and throw that on such a beautiful thing too. Like that could ruin things as well.
Yeah, don't let that like little small voice.
No. Your Astro dice. I figure I can move my microphone right there. You did pull the sun in the 6th house of Aquarius. Actually, that's part of fortune. You need to start embedding a different way in life. I mean, that's really what it is. Part of fortune definitely is more the physical reality, especially dealing with that the fortune is by embodying changing directions in the way that you go about love and trying new things. And also, there's people that you might have never been able to connect with in your life, that this is trying a new way. And this is also figuring out how to make changes in your reality by saying fuck it more and letting go, because detaching from the reality that was not fortunate and only connecting to the reality that is now. Who do we got?
Scorpios.
All right, Scorpio. Let's see what's going on. Your first card that you got here is the 10. It's the Sun card reversed.
Oh.
Your challenge card here is the Strength card reversed. You got 2 major arcana, and you pulled the Death card reversed. All 3 major arcana reversed. Wow, this is going to be a very intense week.
Yeah.
And very contrasting energies. The Sun and the Death card. This is saying that, when it comes to love, it might not feel like the sun shining anymore. Also, the Sun card always deals with consciousness. When it's reversed, it's unconsciousness. So your unconscious behaviors are coming up. And also, the Sun card is always about a child that's running into the beautiful field, into the sun, bareback, doesn't have a saddle on it. And also the parents don't care and like let the child run free. It's almost like there's a part of you, something's not freeing you, or something's holding you back even from being positive right now. You did get that Strength card reversed as your challenge. I almost feel like, I don't know, you're ready to just give up on happiness altogether, but you're also afraid to end this cycle with that Death card reversed, or you're afraid to end some relationship that's not sunny at all and is making you feel very weak.
Yeah.
And also could just be in yourself. Wow.
5 of fire.
Conflict.
A lot of conflict. Yeah, a lot of inner conflict, like you were exactly how you were describing with being your happiness and like not wanting to, like I'm feeling that kind of like comfortable where it's like, it's not okay, but you know, it's comfortable kind of thing. And not really listening to that, because the sunflowers too, that I like to point out on the sun card is symbolizes truth seeker.
And sunflower seeds are so good.
A delicacy from nature.
They are. They're amazing.
They are, but not, what are you not looking at with the truth as well? Not seeing your own, that your happiness is important and not willing to quite let it go. Like there's this conflict of, I feel like, moving forward.
Yeah, what's this conflict about? Ooh. 2 of Pentacles reversed. It's like shuffling too much, like being lost, like too much.
Too much going on all at once.
Or just not stopping and being able to see, like, it's also maybe shuffling too many ideas of where to go instead of just stopping and being like, this is where I'm going to go. But there's also a conflict here of like, you could be with somebody who lives far away, or it's just like, definitely if you're trying to go back to an ex, no. That would be like going through the old cycle of just like where it never ended up right. And it's just like leaving you just from land to sea. And also it's, oof.
Feeling so much like harshness with these cards. Like, let's see what the soul
We need to see what the soul.
We need to see what the soul is telling. Oh, align your life.
Oh my lordy! Look at this card. Wow, this is a beautifully well
Shattered
done
reality.
card. It's shattered reality.
And what needs to change? What do you need to let go of to find your happiness?
Yeah, because it's like if you're not in alignment in your life, your love life is definitely not going to go well. Mm-hmm. And especially this is showing like there's so many pieces that are of yourself that have kind of been shuffled around so many times. And honestly, I just feel like when you're not in alignment in your life, you could be with a partner right now, or you took on a dating partnership or something with somebody way out of alignment, or you're trying to I don't know why I'm getting this, but I got a feeling that there's some Scorpios who really feel like in this misalignment part of their life, like they can like, oh, well, I'm going to go back to somebody that when I was in alignment, even though it wasn't. That's why I keep getting this, like some ex you think will save the day when it won't.
Yeah.
And I feel that because that death card reverse popped up too. Like, let me, Scorpios love to go back and dig up the grave and fucking, let me see if I can fucking Frankenstein this motherfucker out. Yeah. And I just got a feeling like, no, like this is your own misalignments going on. And it might be a hard message to hear, but there's your own personal shit 100% in the soul that's off, that, especially with the sun card reverse too. Like your soul's not running well. It needs an oil change, and it needs a light change energy too. And that strength card reversed is a little difficult because it feels like it's too tough to align right now. You might be too tired to do that.
Right.
Or you might be in a relationship where you're too tired to get back into alignment in your life. And maybe you're dealing with somebody who has caused your life to go out of alignment. Wow, you got the 7th house of partnerships.
Wow.
I mean,
things need to shift. They really, really do. That's card 31. That's a 4.
Which is a very partnerships are supposed to be supportive.
They're supposed to be.
But that misaligned life thing, and you did get this is about your whole relationship life and how it's got to come into better alignment. And it starts with yourself, especially with the sun card reverse, especially this death card reverse. You can't go revive some old energy and because you're tired or you don't have the strength to move on, or sometimes the strength card reverse is like untamed energy. Like you just think that you can just like do anything. And it's like, no, here, like if you're going to do anything, put it into the alignment into yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like when you want to bring someone back from the dead and they're like, they're not the same.
And they
You know
weren't.
what I mean?
They're in a coffin for a reason already.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. The eye right there with understanding.
Understanding.
But it's like Ganesha's like, you're not seeing all the arms Ganesha throws
Right.
around. You're just looking at the eye, and it's almost like there's it's almost like magnified needing to really like, we need to look deep into this understanding here, because I feel like it's almost like if you don't look deeper and try to understand what's going on here, I almost like this is almost like a little bit of a caution. I feel like, because if Ganesha is like, hey, like the eyes
In
are just,
your
hey,
face.
like, hey, like, oh my gosh.
There needs to be a deeper understanding of what you need, what makes you happy. What'd you pull?
I the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Things are not working. Things are like the conveyor belt has broken. There's a chip shortage. There's no more cars on the line anymore. It also means that the self-mastery element is not being looked at all right now. And that's what you need to understand is, why are you out of alignment, and why are you not back into mastering yourself and mastering your life, and also picking partners who maybe have completely blown away the whole idea of mastery. They could be like party people, or people who don't care about others, or criminals, or, just like things that just are not good for you.
Yeah, I feel really stuck in the past.
It's
with
also like
this.
false idols of love. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like this person's done all these things. It's like, yeah, like those are fake trophies. Like
Right.
they didn't even do anything to get them. It's like, you need to like also look at your own accolades in your life of what you're doing spiritually and what you actually are doing in life, because I almost feel like you could be picking people right now that are just distractions. And
Well, and people are reflections. They're our mirrors.
yeah.
And so look at who's in your life and what is that reflecting within you? Because you have Ganesha's big eye, you have the shattered mirror of Align Your Life. Like, what are you avoiding looking at the reflections?
Yes.
Right? And wanting to, I know, like you said, I know this worked at this time in this way, so I'm going to try to resuscitate that. But it's never the same.
Never the same.
No.
No.
Tough week.
Yeah. I mean, that just is the way the cookie crumbles. And sometimes the crumbles get everywhere in the crumbs. And
Love is messy.
don't go pick up those crumbs right now. Like, vacuum them up and send them in the trash. Your Astro Dice, Scorpio, is Cancer Ceres in the 8th. You need to learn to nurture yourself about what actually is truth, instead of nurturing false truths and also addictive qualities emotionally that are like dark. Like, you cannot nurture yourself through the darkness right now. You need to nurture you need to change what you're nurturing too.
Aries.
Let's go, Aries. What's going on with Aries right now? All right. You got the Knight of Pentacles. It's a great card.
That is a
here.
good.
Your challenge here is the 5 of Swords. And you got the 7 of Wands as your overall. I'm looking at that challenge. It's just like, you don't need to try so hard. Like, you don't need to try and put too much effort in. That's always what the 5 of Swords is. It's like trying too hard. Everybody's like, get me out of here. Or in this case, he tried so hard, he cut himself with the sword. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but that Knight of Pentacles is like, take things slow. That doesn't mean it's bad. Maybe something's going slow and you want it to go faster. But because that 7 of Wands there, it's like, you want to make sure that that person is got the same valor that you do, like the same, because it's always the 7 of Wands is defending that high ground.
Yeah.
And you want somebody that wants to defend that the same way. So I almost feel like, defense is one thing in a positive sense. Like, yeah, we want the same ground. But that Knight of Pentacles has to test by slowly walking through the journey and seeing the goodness of it to make sure the journey's worthy. If you just run through the journey and you don't see the trees in the journey, you don't see the animals, you don't see all the little things, you don't enjoy the ride, I mean, you literally are not on a journey anymore. And so, you know, yes, you're going towards and taking leaps towards things that look good, but you don't need to force things. And you definitely want to make sure that there's that same valor there in life and love that you have too.
Life experience. So significant life event. It's powerful revelations. So in not trying so hard, I feel like in like not forcing things, allowing things to unfold, to blossom, and like seeing that you're on the same. This really feels like a teaching moment for Aries.
Yeah, and it's not like a bad
Aries
one
always,
either.
No, it's totally not bad. This
it's like
really
a super
is
easy one, actually.
Yeah. This is really
Rewarding.
like positive change
It's rewarding too.
in how you operate too.
Yeah, to get more
in partnership.
rewards. Yeah.
You know?
And to feel like you're standing side by side on the
Yeah.
same level, where that might always feel like as an Aries, like, oh, they're not up in my level yet. It's like, well, you kind of went really fast there.
Yeah.
Like, or you're expecting it to look like this right away. Like, I'm still going or whatever.
Yeah.
It's interesting that life experience reminds me of also enjoying the journey itself, right? Because experience means that you actually know what you're doing on the journey. I almost feel like, you know, this is just like enjoying every little part of the journey instead of looking at it slowed down, looking at it like, oh shit, like, wow, I didn't realize that this person I'm dating or this partner or the person that I want, like, eats their fork that way.
Right.
Like,
It's definitely a period of growth.
yeah. It's enjoying a lot of the things here. What does the soul got to say for the marriage right now?
Those Aries.
Well, I don't feel like it's the same as the Scorpio one, though.
No.
It definitely feels more like...
This is like, what do you need to change? Like, this feels like small tweaks.
It does. It feels like, I almost feel like it's like, okay, you're learning to align better in your life. Not to say that you're out of alignment, but you're in a space to where things have not been aligning right. Maybe it's tweaks. It's adjustments.
Like, oh, that's just not fitting quite snug or as fit as I like. What little tweaks can I make that
You're
really
getting rid of the
brings...
duct tape and screwing it in.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, it's there, but it's like not staying together because I see those pieces of that person, right?
Yeah.
Like, kind of like, it's like falling. It's like when you get to a house and you move in, it's like, fuck it, I'll just put it up. It's like maybe you should actually go get the right hooks and screws and put them in and measure them correctly. And oh, it's going to sit nice instead of you come into the house and like, oh, it's on the couch again. Well, hold on.
Yeah. Where it all comes in, it's a nice whole.
Yes.
Beautiful picture.
I think it's about finding wholeness in relationships that maybe you've been feeling it's been missing, but maybe it's about how you've been going about it. Because I feel like the challenge there with that Five of Swords is in this deck, I love it because he's cut his own self into pieces. Yeah. By trying to use the sword so hard. And it's like, and then there's that slicing still there. If you notice that, look at that. Yeah. Like they're both cards are very just split apart. Yeah. So it's like, how do you stop slicing things and bringing that wholeness that you brought up earlier? That astrology card that we got here is the South Node of karmic like debts and getting out of like, I feel like for you, what's always been easy, because the South Node is easy. It's comfortable. You've done it before. It's past life stuff in your side of yourself. Yeah. But I almost feel like this, you letting go of it, always be feeling like you're like, oh, like I just got to put up this debt again. No, like this is about learning to do what maybe feels like, as Michael Luton puts it, the North Node is your sprouts that you should be eating, or your Brussels sprouts, right? And South Node's like your chocolate. Like you've been eating too much chocolate all the time, and it's time to cut up the chocolate. And
what's good?
Well, capacity to love is growing. That's what I feel. I feel like maybe there's been a limitation on how much love has been around because maybe it was closed at a certain capacity at the way that you were going about things. And this is enriching as much as it is expanding your capacity to love even more. And you must this week have a capacity to love, because if you're closed off about love because it doesn't show up the way that you want to, and you're trying to chop it the way that you want to, like, sorry to say, you're trying to be a sushi chef right now in love, like, you know, like you're trying to Benihana's it, like, good luck.
Well, and I feel too, like with the numbers of the cards, we have like a total of 3 7s. We have a 5. Like, I feel like this is, and then the 6 with the South Node, you're on track. This is like aligning those things, like body, mind, and spirit, like within your relationship, within yourself, and within the relationship. So some change needed. What changes? And there feel like small changes need to bring those things into alignment and into this physical reality, so that your emotional needs are met, your material needs are met, that all of that feels fulfilled. You feel the love.
Yeah.
Your heart feels full.
If you are not aligned with your life, then you don't have the capacity to love. You're full. Because when you're aligned, then you can get the fullness of the capacity of whatever it is that your soul can handle. And I feel like it's kind of like a trash bag in a trash can. If it's not put in correctly, then you can't fill up the trash all the way. When you try and cheat, not buy the real trash bags and use a Target bag and put it in a big trash can, and you're only going to be able to put as much trash in there. It's bachelor life. You know, I've done it plenty of times, and then you're just like, oh no, and then I overdid it, and then I'm trying to put, oh gosh, and now you're picking up pieces. And I feel like there's a lot of pieces here that have dropped or that are missing because of too fast acting, instead of taking your time, appreciating, enjoying the journey, and how to bring this to a full capacity. And it's pretty simple and actually beautiful.
Yeah.
Just, I think for Aries, it can be very frustrating at first. Like, what? Like, oh, what do you mean? There's nothing wrong with me. It's like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. You're right. But it's just like, come on.
Yeah.
So funny. Your Astro Dice says tomorrow's going to pick the next.
Yes.
You pulled second house, Pluto and Gemini. It's definitely time for you to open the capacity up about, you know, what you can have more of by using common sense, and by also starting to look at things a little bit more factually. You know, I feel like almost Pluto and Gemini is like, you need to get to the bottom of just like the simple things of how to have more. That's second house, and how to build more. And this is about building something, and that it can be very exciting seeing things being built in bigger capacities than you think. Virgos, get those vacuum cleaners started. All right, your first card this week, Virgo, you did get the Page of Wands upright. She is having a good time. She's seductive and happy. You did get the 9 of Pentacles in reverse as your challenge card. And you did get overall the 9 of Cups reversed. Wow.
Oh.
Well,
That's some 9s.
I think that you're excited about, or you know what? I'm picking this up. Always a page, you know, of Wands is always some sort of exciting person, or something that's really been, or somebody flirted with you and you're like, oh, wow. But I think that you almost have to like take a look at things and go, one, that 9 of Cups reversed, that one's a hard one. That's such a great card. But it is a card that deals with when it's reversed over too much excess or under excess. Like it almost kind of feels like with the challenge of the 9 of Pentacles reversed, it's like you can't go get what you really want unless you know the value of what you can bring in. So there's all these ideas of what love can look like for you right now, or what things could change in a positive way, but you got to embody it first. And if you're in a situation where, you know, like you're not 9 of Pentacles, she feels so beautiful that the birds start showing up to her and landing on her freaking arm and shit. Like, oh my God, that's like how gorgeous she is. She knows. And that 9 of Cups reversed is gosh, it feels like all the emotions in the world that you can come together with, but there's something missing here. It's reverse. It's almost like I almost feel like, you're not crazy to start questioning something that doesn't feel as abundant as you think it really is. And also where you might feel a lack of the beauty that you feel that you are, but there's something exciting you to make these changes.
10 of air.
Oh, patterns of...
But it is the end of a difficult situation.
It is.
So if you can embody,
Get confirmation.
yes, embrace the change.
Well, also stop sticking the same sword in the dead body over and over and over. It's done. Like, I feel like, it's like, this is past well done. Mm-hmm. Something is just, I've been telling this one to Virgos for a long time, especially with Neptune opposing all them. It's like, especially now that Jupiter's retrograded in opposition, Virgos are going through the biggest relationship, like what's real and what's fake, and than ever. And so this 10 of Swords is like, where's the pattern got to stop that's not leading to the happiness anymore?
Yeah.
And embodying in your own power and self, and then stop trying to masquerade it through, it could be like, well, we get drunk on the weekends, that makes us feel better, or we try to escape in these weird places, because 9 of Cups reversed is always like doing things that are overly positive that are not. They actually do the opposite. It's like, we get drunk, we do ecstasy, we go, we do this, we do that, fireworks just went off, it's like, I don't know.
Well, and there's that, that ungrounded and kind of in that escapism. I have Virgo rising. And so I can like personally relate to, it almost feels like, you're in the illusion and you need to come back around and really, stop looking outside. You need to look at yourself.
Well, definitely inward now that Neptune's retrograde and Jupiter's retrograde.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling on this one with that 9 of Cups reverse too. It almost just feels like there's such a positive thing here with that Page of Wands, but that only can come about if you're willing to stop the patterns that don't let you feel like you're great, and also stop fantasizing about things that like really are not that great for you, or I almost feel like you're not. There could be an element for people that right now that have this Virgo vibe going on. It's like, this is where you got to start back at the basics of where the happiness is, instead of like whatever's been bringing the happiness. It's just like, come back to the basics again. The Page, like, come back to the start of the face cards, and stop the same. Like, there's some pattern that's coming to an end that's been tumultuously nonstop a pattern.
Well, and coming back to self. I feel it's all coming back to self. How can you mother yourself with the Star Mother?
Oh.
Really?
Very Virgo-esque.
Yeah. The Virgin Mary.
So who's the Star Mother?
This is about nurturing yourself. How can you, like, really coming back? See, and what's coming through is like the Virgin Mary. This is like back to the beginning, back to that purity. And without all of this is really getting beneath the wounding. I feel like that has really been
the purity is what gets me, what you said, because that 9 of Cups is always an unpure thing. It's like trying things too hard and making things too grandiose that are not, because it'll always deflate, right? It's like, let's go to Vegas, that'll fix everything, and we'll go have a great time, and it's like, like, get back to what's pure and basic, and like, like, maybe it doesn't have to be such a big thing, the astro that we got to go with that Star Mother. Ooh, the Yod. Ooh, the destiny time. Oh, the destined moment with the 10 of Swords. I gotta know what this 10 of Swords pattern's about. Oh, it's about the Queen of Swords. It's about clarity. There's not a lot of clarity, and also like this pattern of like, oh wait, no, I need to find exactly what this is, what direction it's going. It's like but it almost is like uncertain and stopping the uncertainty of where you know. And the Yod is the most destined alignment that you could have of two quincunxes and a sextile. I was born with the Yods. I can tell you they're not easy, but they're the finger of fate. They're the finger of God is pointing you in the direction that you need to go. And so with that star mother there, like you are literally being pointed by a divine thing, and it's not easy, but it's one of those things that actually will give you the ultimate place to go. There's a direction that's pointing, and that, you know, that direction's pointing away from the grandiose of like that's toxic, and getting you back to that simple, basic, beautiful part of things. And Ganesha pulled up,
Be candid.
be candid. You got to be real.
Yeah. Got to be in your heart. You got to follow your heart. You got to release what's not serving you.
What's this yacht about? Boom. It's about the Queen of Cups. Finding emotional fulfillment.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. The relationships in going, there's going to be new levels.
Yeah, and it's okay to be candid. If you were in a relationship and you weren't candid, then it's not a relationship.
No.
Like it's not demanding being candid. It's just about being clear, especially that Queen of Swords with the Ten of Air. Like, I'm over this pattern.
Right.
It's a time for us to find the emotional place we are or not. Or if you're dating somebody and you have to do all this, it's kind of like, wow, like maybe you weren't being clear enough, and that's why they're not showing up the way you want to. Also, I got this for some singles out there. If you're dating somebody who's like kind of an extravagant partier or like always trying to do things so big, like we're going to go get the biggest Airbnb, or we're going to go, you know, that Nine of Cups reversed is like overextending. Like, you don't know that they're like running their credit card and this is their last credit card payment that they're going to be able to even do. Like, you know, it's kind of like being candid and being like, that's not what it's about. Like, this is where it's about. This is what I need. And being candid on what you really want, you know?
Like a common theme for everybody about getting back to self and being clear and being okay with what you want.
Very true. We did get the 7th house with Mars and Libra, so it's definitely being very candid with Mars there and Libra in the 7th house of being very clear and identifying what the needs are in the relationship and how to take action in the relationship to bring it to its fairness and to its equal justice, and to really also, at the same time, though, Mars and Libra is detriment. So it's kind of like you can't wait to get pushed into where you think it needs to go. You need to like learn to initiate yourself. That's a Mars and Libra lesson, is stop like waiting for somebody to kind of push you along. Like, you kind of have to learn now that your partner's pushing you wherever you're going without you realizing it. Not in a negative way, but like find that within yourself by being candid. It might be difficult.
Yeah. Sagittarius.
Saggy-waggies. All right, let's see what's going on with the Sages for this week in your love story. You did get, for the first card, you did get the 4 of Cups in reversed. You did get, as your challenge card here, the 2 of Wands upright. And you did get the Hangman reversed. So I feel like this is you kind of feeling like you didn't realize how much you have been missing on till now, and you're free to go about the cabin and do that. But there's that 4 of Cups that's just done missing out on the gifts and done pushing those gifts away. And that the trouble though is you feel like you've had FOMO, because you've missed out on something and you've got to do something about it. That Hangman reverse is saying, like, the spiritual advice is like, you don't need to keep observing anymore. You need to go do something about it.
Yeah. King of Air. Yep. Speaking your mind. You need to say what you want. Stop. I feel like being direct.
Yes. And very...
But come from the heart space. Be very balanced. Like, be in alignment and speak your truth. But you need to speak it.
Yeah, and King of Swords is always cold. So, you know, sometimes it's hard, because in order to be communicative and to get King of Air, like, gets what it needs in its life of clarity. It doesn't live in a life of confusion. because it doesn't get emotionally attached. It's clear about what it needs to do. It's already dealt with the emotions and it's clear. So with that missing of gifts, it's almost like, do you just want to just keep missing gifts, or are you going to be detached emotionally and be clear on, hey, diplomatic, very clear on what you need to say, and not being afraid to say what you need to say here, but also looking at your environment and seeing if it really is a clear place or a chaotic place. Like, you got to bring stability back to your environment. That's always what King of Air is.
Yeah. See, it says seek out professional advice.
Get a reading with tomorrow. HighVibe.tv. Click on reading.
Oh my gosh. Star Mother again.
Wow. Well, Sag, I think they,
Honor thyself.
yeah, because I got to feel like you're going to have to stand up for yourself here a lot.
Yeah.
Especially, like, it almost feels like you missed out on gifts because of the fact that you almost gave away that energy for somebody.
Yep.
But you were, like, not wanting to, and you weren't clear about it. And then on top of it, with that Two of Wands reversed, now you're like, oh, shit, I missed out on the world I want. The Star Mother's like, no, you didn't. You just got to get back to that abundance of your soul and that true essence of who you are. But you have to say and be a living embodying example of it. You're not stuck either with that Hangman reversed.
Right.
But that Star Mother is very clear on, like, getting back to the roots of just the basics of the divine within yourself, and also connected to, there's got to be a spiritual ting to this and not a fake spiritual ting. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like, well, they took some yoga class one time. I hear that shit all the time. I'm always like, good luck, girl. North Node, your life's purpose. Now wow, it's a big divine destiny moment here, especially with, stepping into your life's purpose with the King of Air, which is what we're going through right now. Mercury is the King of Air. If you think about it, Mercury is the king of all the planets, actually. But Mercury is in Gemini. It is with the North Node, and that is in your relationship house. And you do have that Star Mother there. Like, this is time for you to crystallize in this great truth. You are not stuck. You can have the world that you want, and you got to stop missing out on the gifts, and you got to stop giving away that energy. And I almost feel like you're just, like, losing yourself in some really weird places and missing out on what you really want, and you know it, and it's time to do something about it. Ganesha is screaming at me to come out. Of course, your spiritual quest. And I said that spiritual ting thing. I felt that one with that. I was like, oh, there's some fake spiritual stuff here.
Yeah.
The real spiritual quest and the real divine unions of spiritual quest is what this is on. Of course, it's always a spiritual quest. But there's also, like, the spiritual quest of, like, okay, the person doesn't know what the fuck they're doing spiritually. So that's a quest. But aligning yourself into the quest of love that actually has a deeper spiritual meaning, I think, is your big purpose now.
Feeling that need of clarity. I keep feeling like this wind on my face, like spirit trying to clear the air.
Clear the air.
You may need to clear the air.
Yeah, I just want to pull one card for that spiritual quest. Oh, Page of Pentacles. Yeah, a spiritual quest were actually, it's actually a really good offering in life, one that actually you want to take. It actually smells good, it tastes good, looks good, it feels good. It doesn't have like a store brand frozen dinner taste and look and viscosity to it. Like those mashed potatoes, like in the microwave, just are really good with the holes in them, like, and like, yummy.
Tasty.
Yummy. Ooh. Hungry, man? You hungry? Oh my gosh. You did get Libra in the first house, Saturn. It's time to make some big choices about your relationship life and what you want, and especially stop limiting yourself in relationships by not defining what you want, and especially that clarity that you were just talking about earlier, especially pulling that King of Air.
Yes. Libras.
Oh, Libras are like, oh my God, am I getting married tomorrow? Am I getting out of this tomorrow? Oh, Libra, your first card that you got here is the Eight of Cups in reverse. Ooh, this is going to be a very, very interesting reading. We did get the Four of Cups reversed.
Oh.
That card's been coming up a lot. And we got the Death card upright.
Oh.
Okay. Eight of Cups reversed, Libra. Stop. You're trying to turn back around. Something that you've left, or somebody from the past, or something that you've been, okay, I'm ready to leave. No, hold on. I got to look back again. Oh my God, I got to look back again. No, you don't. There's a Death card there, and she is not looking too hot. She is at a haunted house, and she is a painting in the mirror. And I'm sorry to say, with that Four of Cups in reverse in your challenge, that is missing out on the ultimate gift by trying to go back to a place that you've walked away from, or somebody that's already walked away in your life or ended, like an ex coming back. Do not entertain it.
Do not.
Do not entertain it.
This is an awakening.
Wow.
You need to see things from a new perspective, that higher perspective. You need to wake up. I feel like answer the call, or something will come through with the soul. Maybe it'll be align your life again.
Nine of Pentacles. I pulled with that awakening to how powerful you are in your own, and how beautiful you are in your own, and that you only can attract what you really want on the same level when you're in that space, instead of taking on the fucking losers that are coming back, or the loser that you keep going back for.
Yeah. Your soul says you are the pillar of light. You can do this.
Damn.
You are the oracle, is what the card says. And it's like,
sign me up for that place.
yeah, I know. Isn't it beautiful? You have the grand central sun. I feel like there's so much light that is shining down upon you, shining on things, illuminating things, trying to get you to see with clarity and release it. What is in alignment for you? What is for your highest good? You have, like, I swear, all the powers that be is what it looks like, that are trying to guide you in that direction that is in alignment for you, that's for your highest good. That you'll receive the relationship, or you'll find the relationship that you do truly want.
You've never been on this show, but I fucking talk back at the chat. If you all are fucking being idiots and thinking because I dated a Libra recently and I'm like all fucking the way that I'm putting this reading is because of that, you're fucking retarded, and you need to fucking check yourself, because these fucking cards are the fucking cards that came out. And I'm just being real. That Pillar of Light card is showing Libras to own their own shit. I'm trying to help Libras out. I'm not trying to fucking castrate them or anything. And if anything, whoever said that is a retarded person, because I'm sitting there saying, don't go back to somebody you fucking went. Why would I fucking... Makes no sense. So, like, some of these people in here, like, you just need to, like, go take your meds and fucking, like, get out of your shit, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you just need to fucking, like, literally, like, probably get out of astrology and tarot and spirituality, because you don't realize that people, like, I'm here at 2:22 in the morning, been setting this shit up, a man down, running a spiritual network, and you think that I'm going to throw my own personal shit on other people's shit here? That's just disrespectful to the highest degree of all life. I didn't even think about anybody when I did this reading. But when I read that shit, I'm going to call it out, because it's about the spiritual community, and High Vibe is setting the standard of what spirituality is. And we are not like that over here. We don't mix our own personal shit into readings and how to affect this stuff. We come from a good place. We bring beautiful people on the network all the time to do this work. And I'm just not going to fucking handle that shit in this time. I'm sorry. So
that's your awakening.
That's me owning my Pillar of Light.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking disrespectful as fuck. So sorry.
Hey, I totally support
That's
you.
Deep Love Tarot. Everybody,
Deep Love Tarot.
Deep Love Tarot is the deep shit. Like, everywhere else, like, it's kind of like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're not a projector.
No, I'm a manifesting generator. Fucking
Yep.
5-1. I'm going to cause ruckus, and I'm with common sense. That Pillar of Light, I think, is so important, because I feel like there's just, like, so much better out there for Libra than these stupid, shitty situations. And what an awakening to have of the grace that you naturally have, Libra,
Yeah.
and not wasting your time and energy on like bullshit, like people in the chat that say crazy shit like that. You did get the Taurus card, which is the ultimate card of knowing that you can have, especially that pillar of light.
Yeah.
But like, don't use this Taurus energy to be like, well, I could have like some X thing or something that I'm trying to walk back to, or somebody trying to walk back into my life, or, you know, like knowing your value and your purpose and your worth is everything right now, especially the Nine of Pentacles and that pillar of light. That's what you can have, is the ultimate pillar of light and a partner that's a pillar of light back.
Yeah. And it's so important to like be yourself. I feel like the pillar of light too is like, look at you, look at yourself, look at your divinity, like honoring yourself and not going back to what isn't in alignment for you. You know, honoring your boundaries, honoring who you are, like how important that is right now in coming into alignment with your master self. Don't drag your feet. I've noticed Taurus can drag their feet.
And Libras too. They're both Venus ruled. Steadfastness. I think that you got to stay in the direction of that. I think that pillar of light is everything in this reading.
Yeah.
And the steadfastness is staying in that pillar of light always and not getting diverted into distractive tales of the past. And especially where there's no gifts there, but you're like, if you're really thinking you can revive a gift, like especially the death cards there too, it's like you actually don't even think that you can revive. It's almost like you knowingly know it's going to go to hell. Like, don't even go there. Like, stay steadfast in the beautiful light and the beautiful energy of what you can really have in life instead of focusing on the things that you can have.
Right. Really lean in on the divine right now.
Yeah, and I love that steadfastness card because it's like, it's steady, it's fast, but it's not out of control, and it's also not lost.
Yeah. And that's like the divine is your stability right now.
What number card is that? That's a 32, so it's a fat five. It's definitely very changeable
and
times. But
the Taurus is a 5 too.
Yeah, it is. Interesting. There's a lot of like contemplation that doesn't need to be so contemplative. I feel like because of you really know the truth, then you're on that path. But get out of the contemplation over these past things, or somebody trying to walk back in, or you trying to walk back into something else, or still trying to give life to that.
Learn the lesson.
Big time. Well, you definitely got some deep love tarot on how what it's like when I really go on. You know what I mean? We did get the 5th house here, Cancer, Venus. You got to take care of yourself. Do real, pure, true love. I think that's very important. And love that's supportive and nurturing and caring. And I think that you don't also want to be a caretaker for love. So you take care of yourself by not being a caretaker. And you also at the same time take care of yourself by doing what's true, beautiful love, and not like emo love to feel fulfilled because you're lonely or you're not feeling safe, or, you know, you just want to feel, true comfort is in the happy, beautiful thing of that 5th house and that fun and that spark and that youthful creativity vibe, not just to feel something. You got to feel the best of something, the most beautiful of love of something. And that's really how you take care of yourself better. Geminis. Now everybody's like, oh, well, Gemini. It's like, you can pick any sign and be like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, shit. Jeez. You know how many people I know in life? Everybody we all know? Like, we all know one of the 12 zodiac.
Yeah.
It's like, you think when I was doing Aquarius, I was doing my dad? Like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? You think when I was doing Virgo, I was thinking about my mom? You think I was doing Virgo, I was thinking about my brother? You think I was doing fucking, Scorpio? I was fucking thinking about, like, all these Scorpios I know? Like, come on. Like, wow. All right. Wow, they got the King of Cups upright. Got the 10 of Swords in reversed. And we got the Part of Fortune upright.
That's pretty.
This is a great reading.
Yeah.
I feel like, this is a lot of good things happening, but that 10 of Swords in reversed is I almost feel like it's like there are no patterns to go through,
That's
but
what I
almost
was,
like
like,
choosing to
thinking
go
of
back
patterns.
into an old pattern with such good energy and be like, well, I
Yeah.
could take the risk and see I'm in a good place in my life right now. Like, I don't think so. Who we doing again? I forgot who we were just doing. We were doing Geminis. That's right. Like, it's almost like there's too many good things going on. Don't fuck this up by taking on somebody else's patterns. It's almost like somebody else's like issues and shit they haven't got over. That's what it feels like. Because the challenge is the 10 of Swords reversed.
Yeah.
But it's like, I almost feel like it's somebody else's fucking issues. It's like, don't be fucking glamorizing something when you know somebody else's issues are not going to be able to be fixed. And you're going to have to control your emotions better, because King of Cups, it might be a great card, but it's a card that also knows when to stop emotion and to put on emotion, because it has control of its emotion, knows how to master its emotion. And this part of fortune in the future is leading to its positive future. But if you're taking on somebody else's patterns and shit and repetitive stuff, and they can't, and they're trying to put it on you, then you're not a master of your emotion. And that of fortune, sometimes we don't want fortune of what we ask for sometimes if it's bad.
Well, and sometimes too, like when you've taken on something from someone else, this can be like seeing something in someone else too. Like there can be some truth revealed that you may not like, or it may be something you need to work through. This can kind of slow things down a little bit before you reach that fortune, right? And so reaching the pause, there can be a process to be working through with this energy, with all this transformative fire energy. This can bring up some things that may be old patterning.
Yeah, because the Page of Swords is all about 100% truth and 100% clarity. And that starts with yourself, but it also means that you have to have conversations where you get the truth out of people. You can't be afraid to ask questions about people's patterns or people's issues. And I know that Geminis almost kind of like know the truth, or they feel like I've already figured it out, but you actually haven't until you've asked. Questions are your best thing. I think that you need to ask more questions right now to find emotional stability, because I feel like the emotional stability that is possible in the amazing fortune is when you have answers to questions. And whether that's going to be good answers or bad answers, at least you're finding emotional security in where fortune's going to lie. You can't be afraid with the Page of Swords to be very honest and truthful, and also ask questions to get those answers. And it's how they answer. How is these people, or how is this person, or how is your relationship responding to the questions? Are they hiding? Because there's a little bit of a hidden like pattern that you almost like feel like you're investigating right now. That you're almost like, I don't know. I think there's a big question here about like, is this person's pattern just being hidden from me? Or are they saying they're over something, yet like they're saying like, oh yeah, I'm not a big drinker. And it's like, but there's bottles of booze under their bed. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that there's something being hidden.
Something's being hidden.
Something's being hidden.
That's a pattern.
Yeah. And you need to know too, like I always feel a lot of support around like King of Cups and Page of Air. I feel like there's a lot of divine support. So to kind of lean on that a bit as you kind of go through this process and ask the questions, just get very curious, right? Geminis with that, and just start asking questions. It doesn't mean, they're trustworthy. You have this heart.
Very much so.
Come into the heart space and just asking questions from the heart. You're not attacking, and to where you're triggering them to be on the defense, right? You're just trying to have a heart-spaced, conscious conversation. And in doing so, can bring...
We're going to pull up a shadow card.
Oh.
Ooh, black flower fragrance. It's almost like they're putting smell over the BO, like they're putting, and also they're trying to be attractive in a way to distract in a way. Or you could be falling. This is your shadow too. You're almost like yeah, I'll just like put some fragrance over. I'll put makeup on the dead fucking body and it looks good. Like, no, it's like I could not do that for a living. I could not literally work at a funeral home and be like, oh yeah, let's make them look really good.
Yeah.
They're dead. They just went in a car accident. I got a feeling like, like you can't fluff your own self and keep spraying poopery in a room that smells like shit right now.
Yeah.
You got to know where's the shit coming from. It's not coming from the toilet. The toilet's empty, but there's like a dead rat somewhere, or
There's
there's something going on.
Yeah. Deep replenishment.
Ooh.
So really, this I'm feeling with this card, because this is about like, resting, taking care of yourself, kind of retreating. And maybe it might take a little bit, like taking some time to yourself, almost kind of like hermit, and to maybe contemplate this a little bit. But really, I feel too, with all like the water in this card, kind of diving in, but doing so gently. Like this doesn't have to be like, rah,
Yeah, and if anybody is very raw, then it's kind of like that's a pattern, and what's the cause of that? But it's very Neptunian, those colors, the water.
Yeah.
And Neptune's the 10th house for Geminis. It's like time to be an adult, and maybe the deep replenishment is about being an adult about things and looking for where the truth is at. And because I don't know why I keep gutting this, I'm just going to say it. When I keep looking at that 10 of swords, it looks like you're like hanging yourself like in the weirdest direction. Like it's like, what? Like what? Like that's impossible. No, it's not impossible.
Yeah.
And this deep replenishment is, are you even really being deeply replenished here? Is it a place that is replenishing you? Because if there's questions, you're not being fully deeply replenished, and you're going to need either A, those answers, or find out what that truth is and make the decision if it really is. This is, I think, an overall card for this whole week with the King of Cups too, right? Like, is this really emotionally fulfilling and satisfying and deep replenishing constantly to where you feel like it's a place where you can have that solace and replenishment and give yourself soul life, since this is the soul card? Or is this where the soul's not really being replenished fully?
Because you want to be.
Yeah, the Astro is the Leo card. So, looking at if it's true love or not, especially with that deep replenishment. It's like, is it true love, or is it true love? Or is it like...
And you have that fortune card out there.
Like true love is where things are going.
Yeah.
But there's questions, and it's only in the place where real deep replenishment lies, and not the false truth that almost you're playing into it a little bit.
I feel like if you do honor yourself, have that soul replenishment, have that, you want your heart filled up, then you will experience the fortune in relationship.
Yeah, what's this Leo card about? The Star card. Well, that deep replenishment goes so well with that Star card, and especially I feel like true love is like, can somebody be very vulnerable, raw, and naked with you and look at the divine connection to God and connect there with love? God and love are one. And Leo represents that godly, lovely energy of godly courage. Courage from Leo comes from God. And at the same time, at the same way, your heart, you have to trust God that it's going to keep beating it every day. It's not like some physical thing that like we do or something like that. It's like a divine nature that keeps us here. And I feel like, is this true love from a beautiful space of vulnerability? I almost feel like because there's that fake fragrance, and the Star card is just about being naked, and that deep replenishment card, look at how they're in their truth. They're not going out to the party. They're not putting on their fancy shoes. Right. They're replenishing themselves. And I feel like it's almost like maybe that's either missing or there's a question about that.
Yeah. Like, is this what you really want?
Yeah. Because the only fortune is in that space.
Yeah.
And that's a true vulnerability space. Ganesha is trying to say, wow, energetic movement.
And that takes asking questions and figuring things out, that is moving the energy and energetic movement too. I'm feeling that because it is card 5.
It's dancing too in many ways, right?
Yeah. And like moving through, this is kind of like moving through those patterns, right? And getting into the flow and out of old energy, old limiting belief patterns too.
Yeah, because I almost feel like that Ten of Swords has kind of pulled you out and there's no flow that's really flowing, and you got to find out what's that at. And the energetic movement thing, it's shaking things up. It's moving it around, but it's also like dance brings joy, and like, are you in rhythm together in the energetic movement? Because I almost feel like there's been a stop. I feel like that Ten of Swords reversed is almost like, well, it doesn't look like there's a pattern, but I definitely, something is smelly with the Challenger. Like something, it stopped the energetic movement. And this is all about why the movement stopped and how to keep the movement going and where to go to. Like, where does this energetic movement go? I will pull one card for that. Interesting. It is the Fool card reverse. Not being dumb and not playing the fool at the dumbest degree. Like,
you need to really, I feel like it's a dive deep into self. Diving into and getting into the body, get kind of out of the mental space.
Right.
What are you feeling? What's your heart telling you? You know, is it like, oh, there's something off? Like I can feel it.
truth.
Right. And paying attention to that, following your gut too.
Yeah. And being okay to accept that there's something off, especially that's being facaded, whether that's within yourself about it, but that means that there's something facaded on the other side too.
Right.
I think that you have to be okay with that, because that Fool reversed is like, okay, I know I'm being really stupid right now. And the energetic movement is, am I really moving into something really stupid?
Right.
And is it really love? And is it really replenishing? And is it really vulnerable? And does it have the divine's connection? Because that's so important with the Star card. And it's so important, I think, just in general, anybody watching this.
Yeah.
I think that there's an issue that's coming up about somebody or your partnership. And like, where's that spiritual energy, period? That's energetic movement in life is spiritual. Like, nothing else is. Everything that motors everything in life is spiritual. And I feel like this is going, well, is this spiritual energetic movement, or is this just me kind of being a dumbass shaking my ass for this and twerking? I mean, nothing against twerking, but
Is that a pattern you have?
I don't know how to twerk. But like, you know, like, I'm just saying, like, are you twerking for something that's not true?
Does the Gemini have this pattern?
Yeah. You know, like, well,
Yeah.
that was interesting. Your Astro Dice, Gemini. We're on two more, last two.
more.
We're 11th house, Mercury. Ooh, in Virgo. You better start looking at all the little things about this person's world or the people that you're dealing with, and also looking at the friends around and seeing if they're wholesome or not. That's a good indicator, Gemini, especially it's your ruling planet, Mercury, but it's in Virgo. This is important for you to look at the details very deeply about this person's world or the person that in questions, and also the kind of friendships that they have around them and the kind of people that they hang around. That's very important to look at right now. That'll be a great guide.
Cancer.
Cancers. Got a Cancer right here.
Yep. July 15th.
Yep. Yeah, you and I are 7 days apart.
Yeah. You have a full moon in Aquarius on your birthday this year, I saw.
I think it's like, because I'm 0 Leo, I think technically I'm the moon in Capricorn and then it goes into Aquarius. But it's pretty close, but
Feels pretty big.
I'm going back to my natural Sun in the 12th house, Leo rising on my solar return. I'm like, okay, it's a natural year where it's like where you're born astrologically and in the Gregorian calendar system at the same time. And when those years happen, it's like a realignment of the calendar and the soul.
Uh-huh.
And so some souls are having that this year and I'm having that. So it's like I'm coming back within my natural soul with the time system.
Well, you know,
kind of-
you're turning 37, right?
Yeah, and it's my nodal return, and
So that's a 1.
yeah, well, I'm actually going into my 8 year, so it's going to be kind of interesting.
I just feel like it's all new.
But you're right though, because I'm a 7 and I've been in my 7 year.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going in my 8 year, so you know, wonderful. Although, you know, as a 7, you know, 1 years aren't bad, but I'm kind of happy for this 8 year, especially with business and
Yeah, that'll be good.
taking things to the level that the last 8 years have been, you know, like
I feel like it's just a new cycle, new beginning, like at a way
It
different,
is.
new
Yeah.
level.
Definitely. Is
Yeah.
it for you? I mean, it's a great time when your birthday's going to be, because this is when Mars, Venus have met up. Mercury's been out of shadow. Like all the questions of the last couple months are not going to be in our birthday charts.
Yay!
Yay, I know. And, you know, it's going to be like you're already done with the Pluto opposition, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely like a much more just like greater time to be alive, and Jupiter will still be in Pisces, so it'll be nice.
Golden. I'm going into my golden years.
You are.
I am.
They've always
gonna be
been golden,
golden.
though. The Chariot. Look at that.
I always loved the Chariot
That's
card.
that's my favorite card. Ace of Wands is the challenge, and look at the Strength card. Boom. That's some big
Wow.
cards all up right there. Chariot's definitely an exciting card. It's like things are moving in new directions, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge card, of course, is like, okay, for some people, it might be, especially if you're single, it's like, okay, things are moving forward, but what is this? Like,
Yeah.
what is this? The Strength card there is like, definitely have the strength to move forward. But I think that the question for single Cancers would be, well, what is this? I mean, Ace of Wands is like a problem with it actually going somewhere. And in a relationship, it's like, we're going somewhere. What is it that we can do to kind of bring even more of this life? Maybe it's an unsure moment here of when we know we're about to change in some awesome new place. We have the
Yeah.
strength to do it. But I feel like there's just, for all Cancers, like, what is that new place to take this? What is
Yeah.
this new thing to take on this new adventure? The Justice card.
Yeah. Feeling, I feel like in following your beliefs, even if your beliefs are different, and there is this, I feel, an understanding, like in going and bringing things into balance, even having one belief and another, and still growing together. Oh, this-
Yeah, especially that Chariot. It's moving
Yeah.
into like a new place that's more aligned. Mm-hmm. But it's like, if there's already like a bad alignment going on, that Ace of Wands, like it almost kind of feels like, you know, I keep using this for singles. It's like, God, I'm ready for a relationship, ready to jump in. I have the strength, but I don't know if I really love that all the way. It's almost like, don't
Yeah.
jump unless you love it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you could only got.
But I feel like relationship Cancers are finding like a new exciting love adventure to bring more balance in.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to find out more from that Strength card as we move the last cards. But I feel like
Yeah,
a balance and alignment, because Justice is already a relationship card. So it's like, if you're already in a relationship, the Chariot card is moving the relationship into a different place. If you're not in a relationship, the big question is, okay, maybe somebody's asking me for a relationship. Am I really ready? That Ace of Wands there is unsure. Relationships, we're moving into the relationship in a new place, but it's almost like an unknown of, well, what are we going to do with it exactly, and finding that out.
well, and I keep getting from the Strength card about having such an open heart
Yeah.
and like in compassion and moving forward with grace.
Yeah, tamed grace.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Could be like doing like some sort of project together too, but then some people might be like, our projects don't align. Like, so how do we continue to do that?
Well, it's seeing, I feel like it's seeing multiple points of view.
Yeah, because actually, this could be where it's like maybe new points are actually showing how they can unify better than
Right.
ever.
Let's see what the soul says.
Well, and I'll throw a thing with the justice there. 8 of Wands. I mean, that's definitely the most positive card of the Arrows of Love, going into a whole new. I kept feeling for relationship cancers, it's like a whole new adventure.
Yeah.
For single ones, it feels like it's like everything, but there's a question of like where it's going and if you're really ready. And what did you get? Trust
the niggle.
The niggle. What is that?
Like trusting your intuition. Where's the trigger? What is triggering you? Because it's something for you to look at. And this is like a teaching growth moment.
Yeah, because I kept feeling.
You know?
I know, but I feel like for singles, it's way more needing to trust the gut, like about jumping into a relationship with this person. I feel like relationship ones, it's like there's a lot more to bring into this great new adventure. And maybe it sounds crazy in your gut. Trust that and like say it. Maybe it sounds crazy, you know?
Yeah.
But I almost feel like single ones, what does it say at the bottom of that? What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And there's like guides behind her in many ways, but it's her own self.
Yeah.
She's trusting her own self with a challenge of an Ace of Wands and then a Queen of Wands there too. You know what the ultimate love really is. So like the question is whether it is that or not, because the Chariot is like bored of the town because it knows it, so it's moving on, and it's the only card that has a Magician wand, the stars, and the Sphinx that are guiding it with no reins into a whole new beautiful. It's the most spiritual, like divine moving card to new energy, and it's exciting, but it's also like got some like only do that new direction and gut if your gut's saying that and it's excited about it. If it's not excited about it, then don't go don't change things, or don't go into something like, especially a relationship, if you're not ready for it or something's off.
Yeah.
And have the strength to be honest about that too, and then have the strength, if your gut's telling you fuck yeah, I'm all about it and it's everything I want, then go for it, you know.
But make sure you're taking a look at everything.
Yeah, what is the Astro is the 9th house, which is faith, and also looking at everything, as you just said, and the belief systems that you had brought up come up very intensely also with that too. But it's a very positive card, the 9th house, and a lot of opportunities here, a lot of opportunities for the strength and also lessons too, you know, with 9th house. So there's a lot of, you know, it's also an adventure, the 9th house. So, you know, there's definitely like this big leap of faith and trusting the leap of faith from what is deep within yourself. If you're being forced to jump into a leap of faith by somebody else and you don't feel it, that's definitely a no-no. Like if somebody could be trying to force the strength, especially if they're not tamed. It would almost be like, come on, like we need to go into this relationship.
Yeah, no. You need to take a moment. Like, I feel like even because there is this sense of that, okay, come on, do this action. Maybe it's with all the fire energy, but like in, you know, generally speaking, but you need to allow things and take your time. And there's so much questioning in all of these readings for everyone. Like, you really need to take a look at things. And this may even lead you to question what you believe and how you are moving forward with that. Are you moving forward?
2 of Wands. Are the same worlds and the same beliefs going in the right direction?
There, you just summed it up.
Yeah. I love clarifying things. I'm like, clarity. And Ganesh, courage.
Having the courage, having the strength.
whether that's to be honest about the beliefs aligning or not aligning, or whatever. I think it's the ultimate courage of just following whatever that niggle is, right?
Yeah.
That is the funniest word I've ever heard. I'm like, follow your niggle. Follow your niggle. Oh my gosh.
Follow the nickel.
If you want to twerk, niggle it.
Nickel it.
Jeez. Oh man. That is just too funny. Well, we have one more reading. I kept Tamara up at 3 a.m.
Impressive.
Impressive. And you're a mom, and your husband's here taking amazing pictures. Fucking.
He is. He's on the couch.
11th house Libra Mars here. So, I mean, this is definitely looking at the world in which the relationship is going towards now. And there's a lot of excitement with Mars in the 11th. That Libra energy is definitely like the world's got to align. If they are already aligned, then it's like a new world you both are going in together. But if you're going into a relationship, does the world, the friends, and the life of that world really make sense? If you're in a relationship, this is almost like very social time, and also looking at a lot of new perspectives and a lot of new worlds that you all can enter into together.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Capricorn.
All right, Cappies. We're on the last reading.
That's my husband.
Boom.
And I'm a Cancer.
That's
One right after
like
the
that's
other.
like Princess Kate, right? And not Harry, but Henry, right? Or no,
William.
William, I mean.
Are
Yep.
they? They're
Yep.
Cancer and Capricorn.
Yep.
Oh. It's
Yep.
a good balance.
She's the Capricorn though, and he's the Cancer. She runs the show.
Oh yeah, she does run the show.
If he takes the throne, she'll be running the show. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But a Cancer woman and a Capricorn man is an amazing combo, because the Cancer woman can totally be the Cancer, and the Capricorn man can be like, I got this shit.
Mm-hmm.
When it's flipped, it's kind of like a Cancer. It's like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, right? Like his Cancer dude. Like if he had like,
Oh, that's right.
So he's like,
Tom.
Tom Cruise. Yeah, okay. Capricorn, your first one. Oh, awesome card. Knight of Wands upright.
Oh, nice.
6 of Cups is the challenge. And the Moon card reversed is the spiritual advice. So there's a lot of forward, exciting movement. I love the Knight of Wands. That is the hero. That is Prince Philip jumping into
like this.
to when he's not fighting the dragon, but it's when he's like leaping to go sing with Aurora, like he's so excited. And the challenge is the 6 of Cups, which is it's just memories, or like it's almost like, and almost I feel like it's like reaching new memories instead of like trying to repeat old ones. Like this is an exciting new moment in life of like
creating new
memories. And that Moon reversed spiritual advice is like letting go of the past. Like there's a lot of past stuff to let go of. And also it's about extreme vulnerability and just letting everything out.
Yeah.
Anything that you have feeling that's been kind of stuck in the waters too long, it's getting rotten, or it's like an old banana that's been in the fridge for 15 weeks. Like it's got fruit flies on it. Like it's time to bring out whatever emotional stuff you have to say, because there's a positive moment here by allowing yourself to bring out any like last things that you might feel weird about. Because the Moon card reverse is always like there's some sort of emotional thing that has to come out. Like that's always what it represents. And letting it come out is everything.
Yeah. Oh, Chariot.
The Chariot. Well, and
Yeah.
especially with the Knight of Wands, that's definitely, like a whole entire new exciting place to go with everything.
Well, and that'll help as you release things that are coming up. That's going to propel you forward.
Yeah, and there's some Capricorns out there that might just be like, I am ready for I am just like emotionally not happy at all, and I am ready for a whole new fucking journey here.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because this emotional moon reversed and freaking with this Knight of Wands and this Chariot is definitely like, I'm getting on the fucking next train now. With the next train, that train that you have now, I see it on the bridge. Like, give me that ticket.
We give the light and the shadow reading.
I mean, that's what I do on the show,
But that's true.
Because it's not everybody's going to go through the same part,
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if you're feeling like that, like, definitely you're not alone. And then for some, it's like, oh, I'm feeling good about things, but maybe there's just something I just need to, like, bring out emotionally. And then we're going to go on the most amazing journey of all time.
Yeah, there can be like, the Six of Cups being in the challenge position, what feels kind of almost, it is memories, but of the past and kind of romanticizing
There's a lot
the
of
past. There can
with
be,
those two cards.
So don't like dwell there. You want to move forward.
Yeah, it's Six of Cups too is like a place where like, it's usually like little kids that hang out in a safe space and all that.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe it's like challenged to feel like safe with expressing an emotional need that has been held on to for a while.
Yeah. Oh, this could be some inner child stuff too.
Could be.
Coming up.
What's going on with that Chariot? I just wanted to find out. Oh, Six of Pentacles. It's like finding just like, I think just a much more like place of like, you have a lot to offer, Capricorn. And it almost feels like you're ready to offer more than you ever have. It almost feels like maybe like you might feel insecure because you feel like you haven't been like pulling all of your weight, even though you always do. But I almost feel like you're like, I've found something even more that I can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And the soul. Oh, look at that deep replenishment again.
I mean, and I think that card just comes as like a great base of like, does this relationship always deep replenish you? If it does, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
And then it's connected to that Six of Cups and everything else. It's almost like maybe the deep replenishment is changing from always like looking at the past into this new adventure of a new place that's going to be deep replenished of where the relationship's going and new memories that'll be more replenishing than before.
And I feel also getting even more in touch with the emotions. There's a lot of water.
There's a lot going on with emotions.
Yeah.
A lot.
And, and being Sun in Cancer.
But there's so many positive emotions and like really powerful, like, let's go energy.
Yeah. Like use them for like propelling forward, like that passion also in moving forward. Like when you're really emotionally connected. And how when how that fuels your manifestation. Too.
Yeah, and because it is very Mars in the 8th for them, and Venus in the 8th. There's a lot of, it's passion, it's sexual energy too, and that's very much with the Knight of Wands too, and the Chariot. So it's like there's replenishment like that's needed in that space, and if that's not being had, maybe that's the sensitive emotional place. It's like I kind of like need a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
Or if you're not getting any of that, it's kind of like, what the fuck?
Express that.
Yeah, and it's needing to be expressed. The water element sensing. So it's almost like there's this awesome like movement that's ready to go, but there's a lot of like emotional stuff, sensitive stuff that just needs to like come out to let this journey fucking it's almost like, because I race jet skis, it's always nerve-wracking on the line right before I'm about to go race 10 laps at 70 plus miles an hour, right? Like it's like sometimes I'm just like, fuck, I'm a little like, woo, I gotta shake it off, and I gotta like be like, I'll be all right, like, or I need to like, woo, like, like, I don't know, I almost feel like it's like there's this huge new rush coming in, and it's like, okay, well, like, what's all this stuff emotionally going on that it's sensitive possibly, or like, I also feel like with that Knight of Wands, it's having the courage to not be afraid to just say what you have to say emotionally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We all have our own sensitive spots, or like, I didn't like the way that you said that, like at that thing, I maybe misread it or whatever. It's like, okay to say these kind of things in life. That's what makes a relationship stronger. Or if you're just dating, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you can't be vulnerable with somebody, then is the relationship ever going to be good? You know?
Right.
Or for there's some Capricorns that have been just dealing with like weird relationships for a while. And it's just like, bring all the stuff out. Stop trying to, push it away.
Stop suppressing.
And what's the sense? I just got the sensitive. The Hangman reverse. It's like by letting the sensitive stuff out, you're getting rid of anything that's making you feel stuck.
Right.
And with Ganesha, you got revelation. Wow. I mean, look at that.
Be free.
Look at that magic he's like blowing off the universe into it.
Yeah.
This is a very
really,
like freeing week
yeah.
into a beautiful place for Capricorns. Holy shit.
Liberation.
Yeah, liberation from the past and anything that's kind of like, I don't know, it's like we were talking about trash bags earlier, but this is like getting rid of like, the egg roll like sauce off the side of the trash bag that, it's just kind of like, like let's bring that out and like, let's talk about it and just, It's also taking the bumper cars or the bumpers off the bowling alley.
Oh yeah.
And starting to get
analogy,
confidence to throw the ball down the middle again and not have the bumpers on and be like, these are why I've had the bumpers on. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
that's a good one. I like that.
Astro Dice, Aries, 6th house, Sun the 6th, or sorry, 4th house. So this is like you being very direct about your emotional life and being honest about your emotional life and also finding strength through being more emotional too. And that's, Capricorns can definitely be the go-getters and get it done, but the emotional way can sometimes be pushed down. And this is telling you to face those emotions deeply. And that's actually the natural home for Capricorns is Aries, 4th house. Crazy.
Well, and I was getting too, and there's so much leadership quality in the Capricorn too, and now it may be like lead with your emotions.
The leader part of Capricorn, the hero part and everything is when they are emotionally invested in the big things that they do for people and also in their lives,
Yeah.
But when they suppress it, then, it's like, sure, I might have control of the ship, but, it's also probably how the Titanic sunk, you know what I mean? It was like, oh yeah, I've got control, but I'm like, I need to go pee, and I'm like kind of going through a breakup, and it's like, I'm not paying attention. Oh shit! Should have just let those emotions out.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being on here, and so good to have you here this week. I know if you all don't know, but her story, you do so many awesome shows here on High Vibe. I can't even list them all.
Venus After Dark.
Well, of course, Venus After Dark, her story, but then all of your daily videos, your divine transmissions. There's a lot of things.
Talk to Your Guides Tuesday. I'll have the reveal tomorrow.
And then the reveal. There's so much. You know what? It sucks. There's a lot. There's that much content. I'm like.
To watch it all, I know.
I'm like, what? Okay, I remember a show. That's how much is on High Vibe.
We're all about really supporting and being the leading edge for people's growth and well-being.
Yeah, and being there every day for people.
And showing up.
And in a space that's all about it. And we bring people into the studios from all over the place. We've got Boston here to Northern California to... I'm going to have Will Nichols here this week. He's from Canada.
That's awesome.
There's so many. It's just crazy.
So many good
things. Blows my mind. It was so awesome to have your vibe in this reading for everybody today. And I think everybody appreciates it so much.
Thank you.
And you brought so much beautiful wisdom and so much of that beautiful divine feminine in this reading that definitely makes me like, oh, wow. Definitely been a missing ingredient in this show, so I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
And if you want to get a reading with Tamara, make sure you check out highvibe.tv and click on readings for that as well. And thank all of you for being here. And of course, make sure that you follow the links down below to join highvibe.tv and be a member. We have a 7-day, of course, free trial. And if you go to the website, you get the best deal. If you want to get a 3-month or a 6-month subscription at way cheaper rates than you can get on your iPhone or Roku or Android. But thanks so much. Thanks again, Tamara. And thank you, Anne, for being behind and producing this one and being the director for this one. And thank you all. And we'll see you on the next Deep Love Tarot. Share it around. Make sure you click that like button. Adios.